a rifle was used by the boy in a school shooting has been sentenced today by Judge Nicholas Prim.
For each of the murders in the second degree, I'm sentencing you to 15 years in confinement concurrent with one another. For each of the involuntary...
Colin Gray's son used the rifle to kill 2 students and 2 teachers at Appalachia High School in 2024.
But for you failing to get cult help, but for your failure to remove access to the guns, this doesn't happen. September 4th would have been a normal day.
The sentence, 15 years. President Trump considering pulling his nomination of Todd Blanche for Attorney General until the Republicans who are blocking him leave office in January. No let-up in the U.S.-Iran war, both sides trading missiles, Jordan intercepting Iranian missiles, Saudis fending off more attacks, drones hitting shipping off Egypt. Mortgage rates up again, now 6.66%. This is ABC News. Many of us have it in our 401ks and pension funds.
Amazon and Apple will give us a snapshot of how things are going when they hold earnings calls after the closing bell. Amazon just became the world's largest company, pushing Walmart off that long-held pedestal. Its cloud services have been in strong demand, and investors expect that to be reflected in higher revenue. As for Apple, outgoing CEO Tim Cook will be holding his last call at the helm of the company, whose stock has risen 26% since the start of the year. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Delta is partnering with DraftKings. But don't call it gambling. Gambling is illegal on planes. Passengers will be able to make picks, and instead of earning cash, they win a Delta gift card. Delta says there's no betting, no buy-in or miles or financial risk involved. Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal is against the idea. He's written a letter telling them not to do this. He says the partnership will only further fuel what he calls a crisis of problem gambling. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
An uproar from black local leaders over the firing of Police Chief Sean Barnes. More on that coming right up. But first, a check on your traffic. Brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union. Linwood to Seattle has improved to a half hour, down from 55 minutes just a half hour ago. Still about a 10-minute delay. We're heavy from Northgate Way in the downtown. North 5, you've got scattered backups between Albro Place and the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes to get through all this. Both directions of State Route 99 are all clear through downtown if you want to consider that as an alternate route. South 405 still has off and on slowing essentially from Canyon Park all the way into Renton. Another backup in South Center. Alderwood to South Center is an hour, a 20-minute delay here. North 405, you're heavy through the Renton S-curves, and South 5 slows just a bit as you head into downtown Olympia. Open a money market special online with 3.75 annual percentage yield with full access to your money the entire time at harborstone.com/moneymarket. Insured by NCUA.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
A coalition of black leaders in Seattle met with Mayor Katie Wilson this morning to ask her to reinstate former Chief Sean Barnes. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
The 10 members of the coalition of black community organizations, including the NAACP and church and community leaders, met with Katie Wilson. Bishop Reggie Witherspoon with the Mount Calvary Christian Center says she was cordial, but wasn't clear if she actually fired Chief Barnes. I asked what the bishop's impression of Katie Wilson was. He said he'd wait to answer that question until she made a decision. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
And Luke is in studio to join Jake and Spike to elaborate more on this in just a minute. King County's former top cop says Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes' travel was simply too much. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with more.
King County's former top cop says Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes' travel was simply too much. Retired King County Sheriff John Urquhart told the G and Ursula show that Barnes spent roughly 47 days out of Seattle in about 6 months, attending conferences and events. Urquhart says big city chiefs are in demand, but the job still comes down to being physically present when crises hit.
There's lots of training you can go to, and it really takes self-control. You have to say, no, I need to stay here.
Urquhart says Seattle deserves an A-list chief, but constant turnover and political clashes make it a tough sell. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
New details this morning on a deadly crash in Linwood. Washington State Patrol now says a fatal motorcycle collision southbound State Route 99 near Lincoln Way is being investigated as a hit and run. Trooper Kelsey Harding.
Unfortunately, the semi-truck did not stay on scene. We have witness reports saying that it was a semi with a blue cab and white trailer.
Investigators are working to identify and locate that semi-driver involved. The highway was closed for more than 4 hours. And now check on your KIRO News Radio weather. A nice couple days ahead before a slight cool down for the weekend. Sunny and 78 today, sunny and 83 Friday, and then a mix of showers and sun breaks Saturday. A little more sunshine on Sunday with highs in the low 70s all weekend. Mostly sunny and 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Thursday to everybody out there. Jake Skorheim sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Happy Thursday, buddy.
Every day our cup runneth over.
Yeah.
Just when I thought we would have new news stories to shift over and talk about. Katie Wilson goes off and fires Sean.
What happened?
Or did she fire him?
What happened? Got it?
Here's it. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to get to. In just a little bit, we're going to talk with the Seattle Police Officers Guild President, Kent Liu. He's going to join us live on the show at 12:30. There's so many things to discuss. It's difficult to figure out where to point, so let's just start right with the big news, which is Katie Wilson maybe fired Sean Barnes. Luke Ducey joins us right now. Luke, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. So the sources that we have, and these sources are close to this decision enough that it was apparently communicated to them by Barnes himself that he was, in fact, fired.
But has this been confirmed by the mayor's office yet?
Interesting response because this morning I went down to City Hall about 8 a.m. and met with a coalition of black organizations and leaders from Seattle who were rallying behind Barnes. They were there to meet with the mayor. She agreed to meet with them, and they wanted to change her mind to reinstate him. The coalition included the NAACP, the Urban League, Community Passageways, several clergy and parent organizations as well. They met for some 40 minutes. They said the meeting was cordial. Afterwards, I talked with Bishop Reggie Witherspoon with the Mount Calvary Christian Center. And then he said this, that she would not say whether or not she fired Barnes.
Wait, what?
That's what he said.
Why does Barnes think she's fired? Why is there all these coalition people meeting up?
Told me they
trying to
talked
make her
about the
change
chief
her mind.
being fired, and this is what the mayor said about his firing, according to Bishop Witherspoon.
We don't know. She didn't say. So, she certainly didn't let that come out of her mouth, so we don't know.
She didn't say. They also, he said, admonished her right off the bat not to let Chief Barnes go, warned him, do not let him go, and to reinstate him if he was fired. When it came to, again, reinstating Barnes, the bishop told me she listened. She didn't really acknowledge their demands, but he told me then
okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Then she said something at the very end of the meeting about reinstatement, etc. Something. We don't know because they won't share those details. But whatever she said, the bishop told me they immediately warned her again not to go down that path or whatever path she was going down.
She listened well, made some comments at the end, and we admonished her again, and we can only hope that she makes the right decision.
All right.
It's a showdown.
There's a lot of stuff happening
in the mayor's
here.
office this morning.
Here's what I'm wondering. So when I saw this news, this was like, when did you guys see this? When did you see this?
First thing in my face when I woke up.
First thing in your face.
Well, when you wake up, you look at the wife, you think about kissing her, toothbrush first. Okay, fine. Grab the phone.
Second thing.
Grab the phone.
Last night.
Okay, so you saw.
We had suspicions last night because he had canceled a bunch of interviews.
That's right.
He was at a vigil. He left
stepped
early.
away
Away from it. Went and met with the mayor apparently, and was asked to resign. Apparently, the word is on the street that he
resign
said
or get fired.
That he said, "I'm not doing it," and she fired him.
Okay, so there's just so much stuff to break down here. Contractually, if he resigns, he's not going to be entitled to the same money that he's going to be entitled to now as a firing. That's a whole different thing. And if he resigns, I don't know if he has a wrongful termination lawsuit up, down the road if he resigns from the job. But if you're fired, all of that is teed up and almost a fait accompli. So this is not the end of the road for Sean Barnes, obviously. He's going to have a massive lawsuit against the city because if it's a firing,
What is she firing him for specifically? And it doesn't even sound like she knows because she's not really saying that to anybody.
Was it the delay in information getting out after Sunday's gang shooting? Was it the delay in that information, or was it that Chief Barnes spends too much time away from Seattle?
But this is the problem with that whole thing.
Is there something else?
So there's a Seattle Times piece and some other folks that Barnes' office put out, because that question has been asked, and he even got into a confrontation with that reporter. His office put out basically his itinerary for the last 4 months. He's out of town an exceptional amount of time. 12 of the last 16, basically weekends, he is in different places. Only 4 of those, according to the story that I saw, are visiting family. The rest are at conferences around the United States. Is that what you guys saw?
That's what I saw too.
So, okay, here's my thing though about that. Is it more time than you would expect? 12 of 16 weekends to be gone? Yes, that's more than I would expect. Is it as much time with family as we were kind of made to believe or question? Not as much, but he's still not in town, which is a problem. But if he's away in an official capacity, he probably has the mayor's approval to do that. She's his boss. If that has been some sort of a negotiated, like, hey, I'm going to be representing the city in a lot of different conferences in my capacity as chief, then I don't know what her grounds for firing him are going to be, other than maybe a testy confrontation with a local reporter, which I don't know if that's going to be fully grounds to fire someone.
When you can't get the mayor to at least even acknowledge that the chief of police has been fired, let alone you can't expect her to say why if she won't say that won't verify that he's been fired.
Here's a really cynical idea that's popped into my head. Is it possible? I watch a lot of The Office. Do you guys watch The Office?
Sure.
Michael Scott. He's about as bad a boss as you can find. He means well, but he's just not very good at the job. There's an episode where he wants to send a message to Stanley, and he wants to fire Stanley as a joke so that Stanley will respect him and do what he wants. And he even goes through with it, and he tries to fake fire him. I have a little bit of that audio here. This is ridiculous, but let me play this.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I'm firing him, and I need you to act like I am firing him. Do you get that? Do you get it? I'm teaching him a lesson. You're fired like a heart attack.
You're firing me over 3 words. Yes. Have you lost your mind? Do you think I'm gonna let you do this to me?
This was a fake firing. Lesson learned. Good work, everybody. Very nice.
So I'm not fired.
So here's
that's it.
I laugh so you don't cry.
No, so
this is an unbelievable moment in Seattle.
Katie Wilson has never led anything. This is her first job, right? We all admit this is like her first real job. Maybe she was.
Sure,
Was she even a barista before this? I mean, I don't know what she did. She was like she had some sort of an advocacy group.
She was
the Transit
Community
Writers Union. Yeah,
that she started.
Which was really like a
hobby.
Yeah, it's really like a lobbyist group.
It's a lobbyist
group. It wasn't
group.
a union at all.
But she started it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is her first real job. Everybody struggles in their first real job. I don't know what your guys' first real job was, but I remember in my first real job.
Probably washing dishes.
Yes. I worked at I had many jobs, but one of my first real jobs was I was just a day laborer for a friend of mine's dad who owned a construction company. I did almost every single thing wrong, and I went to the hospital twice, and he ended up saying like, hey, you know what? This is maybe not the career for you. So I had to step away and find other things. Katie Wilson.
Can I get his number to call him and thank him, by the way, for turning you toward us?
He sent me this in this direction. He goes, you know what? You're really more of a talking guy, not a working guy.
Yeah, not so much with a hammer and nail gun.
The problem was I was 15 at the time, and Katie Wilson how old is Katie Wilson? 42, 41, maybe?
Yeah, it's 15 in mayor years, so to be fair.
Whatever it is, she's learning on the job right now. And one of the things that you got to be really certain about, if you're going to fire the chief of police in a city, you got to really do it if you're doing it. You can't just float the idea to see how it goes. And then this coalition of folks meet up, and I feel like she was maybe testing the waters to see what kind of reaction that she would get.
Ooh. Well, you leak that balloon. You don't fire the guy. You don't tell the guy. So you don't pull the guy at a vigil, a very public event.
But she hasn't confirmed that it's a firing yet.
Well,
we don't really know if it's a firing yet.
Exactly. Well, a couple things.
She can walk it back.
But we do totally. And you wonder, and I've heard this theory being floated around, that maybe they were non-committal in this meeting with this coalition because it gives them the idea that they can walk it back.
Yeah.
And however, the chief of police, according to these sources with firsthand knowledge, they talked with the guy, say that he's under the impression that he was fired.
The whole thing is just a cluster. It's such a cluster.
It is, and we're talking about on the heels of 2 innocent people who were killed, 4 people sent to the hospital, including a 2-year-old boy. We don't know, and we don't know. Here's the other part of this. We don't know after all of that. And then there's a suspect still on the loose, maybe
Still
another
at
gunner,
large.
still at large. We don't know if we even have someone in command of the largest police department
That's
in
where
the
I was
city.
hoping to get to.
That's scary.
If you're as the mayor going to decide that this is a move in the best interest of the city, that this police chief has too many outside interests, responsibilities, commitments, whatever it may be, a passionate temper, maybe a factor here, but. You don't do this 4 days after one of the largest mass shootings in Seattle history, while there's an open investigation and potentially an active shooter still at large. You don't do it now.
Let me ask you guys this question too. Do you think this firing has anything to do? I think the timing of this is really interesting. To me, it felt like a CYA firing.
It's odd.
I feel like she fired him, or at least is pretending to fire him, to get the attention off of her response to all the Bye to Seattle stuff. Because last night I saw pictures. And I've never seen this before in such a quick fashion. But Governor Bob Ferguson, sent a message. You guys have seen this. You've seen these pictures. He sent a screenshot of his cell phone with text messages that he exchanged with Katie Wilson on July 26th, which was the Bye to Seattle shooting.
The result of
Sunday.
a public records request is what I understand.
Have you ever seen in your entire life, have you ever seen a public records request filled that quickly?
No.
Never, which means it had to happen in official capacity, which leads me to believe that he probably was like, hey, reporter, file a public records request, and I'll send this over immediately. I don't think it went through like official channels. I think
it would have had to have, but
No. I think it very easily he could have said, because you have to have the official request, otherwise it looks like he's working with the press.
Mm-hmm.
He could say to a reporter, file public records request, and I'll send this over as quick as possible. I have public records requests to WashDOT outstanding right now that are 5 months old that they have not responded to me on because it takes time to compile the paperwork. Yeah. This went out in like 36 hours. That's very quick.
The other scary thing that I wanted to inject for you guys, and then I wanted to play you one more soundbite too, but is this talking about what you're talking about? If people think, and I think a lot of people do, that there are some untruths being told about why that press conference was delayed on Sunday night, and now we're here, and perhaps it's messy, and there's some untruths being told. You know, those are some really scary allegations too. That a new mayor of the city is not telling the truth to the public.
He's not being completely open on what,
because it doesn't add up. Nothing adds up.
It doesn't add up, and Ferguson is distancing himself from her in a big way by showing those text messages where he said, "I can be there." I'm looking at the text message right now. Katie Wilson texts him at 7:41 p.m. on the night it happened. She says, "We're pulling together a conference call now, and most likely a public conference later tonight." Now, this is an hour and 40 minutes after the initial shooting. Ferguson responds pretty quickly and says, "I can be there by 9 p.m. Now, he's in Olympia. That's an hour 5 drive, which means that he's responding almost immediately saying, "I'm in the car. I'm on my way." There's no other text messages exchanged that night. The next time that they see each other, apparently, that's from the next day.
That's from the next day. Okay, that's Ferguson. Okay.
Yeah, and he says, "Please call at 10:13 p.m. the next day." So, what's that about also? But anyway, he then arrives.
Wait, hold on, if I may.
Yesterday, 10:13 p.m.
Well, also, it was the 7:41 yesterday, 7:41. And that says yesterday at 10 p.m., Ferguson says, "Please call." That's the same day.
It's not the same day. It's in the article. Read the article.
Well, they both say yesterday.
I understand what you're saying. It's in the article, it says the next day he responds at 10:13 p.m.
Okay.
I'm just going by what the article says.
I know how to read a phone, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but it seems to me when there are two listings on a phone text line, say yesterday at 7:40, yesterday at 10 p.m., Ferguson says, "Please call."
But what's the point?
That he didn't wait that she hadn't contacted him 3 hours after 7:40, and then at 10:15, 10:13, he says, "Please call" the same night. That's my point here.
We're not saying different things. He said he's on his way.
I don't know what the pecking order is, but if the governor is telling me, "Please call," I'm calling.
No, I hear you.
To Luke's point, though, about untruths, that's a very kind. You're being very, very respectful.
Other people call it lies, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I probably would at this moment. But if the issue is that the city wasn't communicating with, we've been saying this over and over and over again. If the sheriff, at least I'm getting closer. If the chief's been terminated, confirm that. Tell us why. Give us cause. If it's because of a failure to communicate with the city, then you tell us, because the police department has said, we've been told to wait.
Yeah.
The police department representatives have said, we've been told to wait.
The point of this text message here is that he's saying, "I'm on my way," communicating, why is the information being withheld? I'm on my way. The governor. Katie Wilson, at some point during all of that, she makes a decision or somebody makes a decision that they're not going to go out to the public with information until everybody is assembled.
Well, she's in charge.
She's in charge.
Buck stops with her.
Yes. So I think the firing of Sean Barnes, why would you put this out other than to distance yourself from Katie Wilson and to put the buck on her? That's why Ferguson did this. He doesn't want to catch any of this blame. He's in a precarious enough position in his own politics with all of the income tax stuff. So what he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to be associated with this delay in information getting out of the public when people are literally hunkering down. So this is kind of throwing her under the bus, in my opinion. So then shortly after this comes out, what happens? She calls Sean Barnes to her office and she says, you resign or you're fired. At least that's the story that we've been told. She hasn't confirmed it yet. You resign or you're fired. And now you got the coalition of local black leaders going in saying like, hey, you can't fire this guy. Why are you firing him? Please rethink this. And now she's just holed up in her office. Here's my other question. Who's she even talking to right now? Because everybody who used to work for her is gone. Look at this job posting. This is available right now. This is not a joke.
Communications
director.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can go and you can check this out. And I have all the qualifications. Number 1 right here, strategic communications leadership, communication support and training. Here's all the things you need to do. Do you know what that job pays, by the way? You guys have a guess?
No.
Take a guess at what that job
Probably
pays.
over $100,000.
Spike, take a guess. You're going to love this. It's the best. This is crazy.
Communications director for the mayor's office,
For the mayor's office, City of Seattle.
It probably pays $2.25.
You're very close. Between 1.6 and 2.72. So either one on the low end is 164.
Where do I sign
And on
the
the
resume?
high end is 272,000. And Sage Wilson, who just had that job, would rather not work than to work in that office because he left for nothing. And Katie Wilson is now sitting there like, I don't know who she's talking to making these decisions. It's clearly not a communications director.
I've talked in the last couple of days to 2 senior communications executives who work for global companies. They don't work for local. They did at one point, and they've gone on to they work on global geopolitical legal issues, global scale.
Sure.
And I asked them to kind of characterize the maybe the behind the scenes communications. You can base someone's communications plan and the organization. They don't have a director of communications right now. You can base that on what they say and what they do in their actions. They're using words not like they're not saying a little hiccup here. They're using words like PR 101. This is like interns are running the show. These are gross errors. This is really, really bad. It sounds like it is a complete mess.
And it's not like that means there's not enough cupcakes going to get out of the factory. This is the city of Seattle. This is our public safety.
Yeah.
This
Do we not have an active manhunt going on right now?
We have Seafair coming up this
You have
weekend.
Seafair. This
largest
started today.
public safety event in the city.
In the calendar every year. Yeah.
And you have a mayor who just maybe fired the chief of police, but what's the backup plan? What's she going to do at this point?
I don't know, and it all kind of points to things that you all allude to as well. Bishop Witherspoon, I asked him one final question after the meeting with Katie Wilson, and because we don't really, to your point, you kind of made earlier a little bit, we don't really know Katie Wilson that well. We're still getting to know her. She's been in the job, so she's still newish. This is her first big moment.
There's a lot about Katie Wilson we don't know.
It's her first big crisis communications issue and crisis in general, moment. And I asked him, Bishop, what is your impression after meeting the mayor? What is your impression of Mayor Katie Wilson? And this was his response.
I reserve that until the decision is made, to be honest with you, because she was very cordial and affable and kind, but I'm not going to respect if she makes that decision. We outlined why she should not make that decision.
Cordial, affable, and kind don't mean competent.
That's a diplomatic answer.
Well, he's a man of the cloth.
She should think about asking if he can advise her office on how to communicate with the public.
Hey, before we move, I know we're running out of time almost, but
yeah, and I got to get my question of the day in.
With regard to the chief's schedule, which may be a huge factor in the mayor's decision to fire him, if indeed that is the case. Trips to professional trips, office-related trips around the country to represent black law enforcement is an understandable and I think an acceptable time away from the office.
Depends on the amount of time you're gone.
It depends on the amount of time. I was going to say, and spending time with your family in Chicago, right? 4 times in 6 months is not a crazy amount.
4 months, yeah.
4 months. Okay, it's 5 months, whatever.
What are those trips? I'm just saying, was a 5-day recruiting trip to the Central Intercollegiate Athletics Association basketball tournament in Baltimore. His alma mater was in the tournament, Elizabeth State University. I'm just saying that was one.
No, I agree.
Trips.
Some of these conference trips that he's on, I don't find acceptable.
See, that's a recruiting trip. You're talking about how this department can't staff enough officers. That's not a recruitment trip for a basketball team. It's a recruitment trip to there was a.
It's the only tournament happening in the world that he can go in. It's got to be the one that his team's playing at, right?
Doesn't look good.
That's all we're saying.
All I'm saying is this: if it's a matter of time spent away from town, seeing your family's fine. Going on trips for the official capacity office is fine. Combined together, that's too much.
30,000-foot level, it's all messy.
It's all messy. Okay, here's a quick question today because we got to go. We got a guest coming up. Was this firing justified? And is she just trying to distract from her incompetence? We're going to get back to that at 1:30. You guys answer those questions today. 888-973-5476. Seattle Police Officers Guild coming on with us live next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the Club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Hundreds gathered at Seattle Center Wednesday night to honor the victims of Sunday's deadly shooting at the Bite of Seattle. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss was there.
We come before you as humble as we know how.
Days after Sunday night's shooting at the Bite of Seattle,
showing that we are one here in Seattle.
A few hundred gathered together at the Seattle Center.
These are for a friend that was hurt.
Ikaika Corpus says,
I was up close and personal to seeing, people going down.
Though suffering sleepless nights himself, Corpus gained the courage to come back for the first time since the shooting to offer this small gesture.
I just love to honor those people, those who are hurt and those who are not with us today.
If you would like to donate to the victims' families, we've posted their GoFundMe pages on MyNorthwest.com. With another Seattle police chief apparently on the way out, retired King County Sheriff John Urquhart says the city is paying the price for years of churn at the top. He rattled off 8 chiefs since 2009, averaging about 2 years each, and he questioned Mayor Katie Wilson's decision to move on from Chief Barnes.
I think she really jumped the gun by firing him. Look what's going on in the lobby of City Hall right now. Certainly the African-American community doesn't like that he got axed.
We are still awaiting a news conference from the mayor. We will have that for you as soon as it happens. Meanwhile, Barnes tells the Seattle Times he's taken today off. When asked if he is fired, he says that's up to the mayor. 911 calls reveal the chaotic moments following that fiery seaplane crash in the San Juans.
Just watched a plane come down from very close to where we were. You're not sure if anyone is currently in the burning plane?
I'm not sure if there's anyone else, but anyone else in that plane is done because it's completely on fire.
All 11 people on board did survive, but 4 went to the hospital with serious injuries. KIRO 7 TV obtained those calls, which also revealed nearby boaters rushing to the scene of that crash near Susha Island last Thursday. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating what caused that Kenmore airplane to go down. A standoff in Grays Harbor County included a teenager shooting arrows at police. According to the sheriff's office, a father in Emma called 911 about his son yesterday. He said the 13-year-old had an axe and was threatening to grab a gun. When deputies arrived, the boy started firing arrows at them and a police drone. And deputies fired one shot back, but the bullet did not hit the teenager. They finally ended the standoff using less lethal munitions to safely detain the boy. And now check on Wall Street. Big gains, Dow and S&P 500 and NASDAQ rebounding sharply as chip stocks and Microsoft shares surge. The Dow up 640, S&P 500 up 125, and the NASDAQ up 692. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by the News Radio app. In Thurston County, just south of Yelm, we've got a collision that has shut down both directions of State Route 507 near milepost 25. That's near Mankey Road. No estimation will this will reopen. We're about a half hour or so into this. Here in Seattle, South 5, you're heavy from 130th and Northgate to I-90. Plan on 40 minutes from Linwood. North 5, scattered back up some Albro Place to the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes gets you through this. South 5, you're crowded from South Bellevue into Renton. North 405, still heavy through the Renton S-curves up to the VMAC. And Tacoma to Olympia, a 40-minute commute with scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia, starting near Cabela's. Text APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. 78 and sunshine today, sunny and 83 Friday, low 70s through the weekend with partly cloudy conditions. Some isolated showers on Saturday. Mostly sunny and 70 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We have a guest to get to, which we will in just a second, but I want to clear something up. Spike, I think you were right on this text exchange between Bob Ferguson and Katie Wilson. Bob Ferguson's sent out a screenshot of his phone screen in a text exchange where he says, she texts him at 7:41 p.m. He then responds and says, I can be there by 9 p.m., which is basically him saying, like, I'm going to jump in the car immediately because obviously if he's in Olympia, it takes about an hour and change to get to Seattle.
Correct.
He then sends her another text at 10:13 saying, please call. And then she responds shortly thereafter saying, I just tried you. I'm available now. Why was there communication not happening between the two of them in the meantime? I don't know. But it draws into question everything about, this claim that her office is making that we're waiting on dignitaries. It certainly seems like he was trying to make himself available, but not necessarily in person.
That was from an SPD spokesperson, officially told media Sunday night, we're waiting for the arrival of dignitaries.
The thing is, the whole thing is so confusing, and now Katie Wilson has fired Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes, or has she? And what does this mean for actual cops? How do they do their jobs when their boss, when that job is, totally a big question mark? We have the president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild, Kent Liu, on with us right now. Kent, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Spike.
Kent, what are you hearing right now from, folks in your union? What are they thinking right now that's going on?
Unfortunately, so I listened to the first half of your show here, and I know about the same. That we are all holding. We're just in a holding pattern. The same thing I heard is that I think Barnes was on the impression that he was fired, but the mayor's office won't confirm it. And here we are. So we really have no idea.
What does this do? Like how are, there's still obviously the day-to-day operations, cops going out there and doing their jobs. That's not going to stop. They're going to keep doing it. But their leader is now in question. Like, who succeeds him and how quickly? There would be some interim chief, I assume. Would that be Tyrone Davis who would step up in the meantime?
Well, that's a good question. Tyrone Davis was the acting chief Sunday night, right? And during that weekend. So he could, I guess, step in, or maybe he still is the acting chief, right? Then you would essentially name an interim, which hasn't been named. I guess this is a complete distraction for what's going on. I think the mayor's office is just, I don't know, it's just amateur hour up there. Well, I don't know how else to say it.
I heard somebody describe it as rudderless, which I think is a good description of what we're looking at right now. Acting Chief Davis seems to me, if the reporting is the information we're getting, he's been acting police chief for 11 different weekends so far in the last 5 months, right? Every time the chief is out of town, assistant chief, acting chief Davis is in charge, right? That's the case. Today it's reported.
I don't know if that's every time, but he was there at least this weekend.
I didn't mean. Okay, that's a great question. When the chief of police is out of town for official business or family time, someone is put in place. That's part of the agreement that you're gonna have these commitments to the law enforcement community on a national level. You have commitments to family, which everyone can understand. When you're gone so many weekends, there's got to be a system, a pretty, at this point, tried and true system in place for who's running the SPD. I'm trying to get to Jake's point. What happens today? Today it's in the paper that Chief Barnes is saying, look, they said, are you fired? He said, that's up to the mayor. I'm taking a personal day today. My family's flying in town for Seafair. We're going to try some tasty food and watch the Blue Angels. This was from the is he fired chief of police, Chief Barnes.
This whole thing, did he
this
really
is,
say?
This is all on the mayor's office. All of this. Every bit of this is owned by the mayor.
Absolutely.
Is this she doesn't have a communications director right now. That job was just vacated recently by Sage Wilson.
And he
was the press secretary.
Press secretary.
The communications director was also, went away.
That's gone, and that job listing's pretty attractive salary.
Yeah, pretty good.
Anybody
if you're good
thinks
at the
they can
job.
step in and
shows
help.
you how vital that position is.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
it is.
truly.
Yeah.
That's my question too. Is like, who's communicating right now with Katie Wilson? Who's helping her make some of these decisions that she's kind of like? Every decision she makes, it seems to be the wrong one, and she just keeps putting her foot in it. She needs somebody who can help her get on the right path, and it doesn't seem like she's surrounding herself with the right people, or the people who were there are deciding we don't want to be around her, and then they just leave the job. So for the police in town, how hard is it for them to do their jobs now when who's their boss right now?
I think there's enough hierarchy in the police department that, the departments, the line officers, we're fine, right? We're okay. It certainly sends the wrong message to the city, the people living here, right? Even nationally. I mean, this is a disaster. I think we've run this experiment of an inexperienced mayor, and I think this is what it's getting us. I don't know how else to frame this, but maybe there was some thought that this was going to take the spotlight, getting rid of Sean Barnes was going to give the spotlight off of her. This is only going to
it ratchets
destroy her more.
Big time. Here's another question for you. There's an active investigation going on right now for another shooter in this weekend's mass gang shooting. Who's directing that now? If Sean Barnes is having to take the day off because maybe he's fired or maybe he's taking the day off to enjoy seafair with his family, I guess that's TBD. Does that investigation, is that hindered in any way in the meantime?
No. There'd be enough chiefs and captains that would make sure that that's going. And really that's up to the investigators. So there's still plenty of people in place. That's all still going on, right?
Well,
so the day-to-day operations are fine. You just kind of have a rudderless ship. It doesn't mean that, the lights aren't on and you're not enjoying the activities, of a ship, right? Like it's just, if that's the analogy you want to use, it's
just adrift for a little while.
We just adrift.
Yeah, that's it, right?
This is a poop cruise.
It's not that
we're all just hanging out.
The day-to-day operations are not being conducted, right? The investigation is still going on. 911 calls are still being answered.
Well, you made a great point earlier that there's enough hierarchy in place in this Seattle Police Department organization that the day-to-day safety of the city operations of the department are going to be fine. Your officers, that you're the president of the guild, the men that chose you to represent them, they have support from their command hierarchy and structure. The work that they do to keep the city safe on a daily basis, whether it's street crime, following up on calls, investigating ongoing investigations.
Yeah,
those are all in place.
But this cannot be good for morale. This can't be and nobody's feeling very confident right now that this is a good thing.
It's beyond today, but I think what they said before, right? It's eight police chiefs since 2009.
Yeah.
Right. There's just the police department now is suffering because of the mayor or the situation. We had that tragic incident at the Bite of Seattle where innocent people lost their lives. Officers performed brilliantly.
Yeah, they stepped
all
in,
running
saved
towards
the day.
gunfire, right? I mean, they executed that day really well, right? We still have a manhunt going on. We still have active investigations. All of that is still working. It would be nice to have, though, consistent leadership at the top. I was kind of hoping that Sean Barnes was going to stick around for a while.
Hey,
he was honestly good for us, and I think the officers actually liked him.
I think you're getting to my next question, Kent, because we're talking to Kent Liu, president of Seattle Police Officers Guild. If the mayor did indeed fire the chief of police in Seattle, the mayor has given no sense of what the cause was, whether it was breakdown of communication the night of the gang-related mass shooting at the center, whether it was time away from the job through previous commitments from the chief. Does he have the force behind? Are they in his corner? You said that they like him. Is that a possible reason that the mayor says it's time to make a change? Did he have the guys?
I don't think it came from the rank and file. I think this is all coming from the mayor's office completely. I think they own this 100%. I don't know again what the goal is. Now, according to the city charter, Article 6, I think, talks about the chief of police. So she's got to provide something in writing. And I think that's maybe part of this listen, I'm not going to resign. You're going to have to fire me. You're going to have to supply some reason to the city council as to what your reasoning is. I've heard the city council, I don't think that they are happy with this decision and what's going on here, or maybe they're more unhappy with no decision. But it's a disaster right now.
Very, very, very quickly, like 10 seconds. Does the prospect of her naming a successor make you nervous? Possibly.
I mean, it really depends. I don't think immediately, right? Because we'll have either probably an interim of somebody that we know.
Yeah.
I think the more nervous part comes forward, months later, right? When you enact let's say a bigger search, right? And you're going to name that final candidate. That's really where it is. Right now, I think we'll be fine. You just got to let us know is Sean Barnes fired or not?
Is he the head or not?
Who's running this place?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Ken Lewis, Seattle's Police Officers Guild president. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. I got a message for all of the plumbers, all the roofers, electricians, contractors, landscapers, delivery drivers. We can't do any of this without you. And like you, Sunset means business. Literally. Sunset Auto Family carries full commercial vehicle lines from both Chevrolet and Ford. But here's what separates them from everybody else. Commercial vehicles qualify for repairs for life. Let that sink in for a second. Commercial trucks routinely rack up 100,000, 200,000, even 300,000 miles. Any qualifying repair over $250 is guaranteed for life for as long as you own the vehicle. How's that for a business partner? Talk to Lisa at Sunset Chevrolet or Aaron and Chris at Sunset Ford. They're going to walk you through everything. Honestly, it's hard to imagine buying a Ford or Chevy commercial vehicle anywhere else when you truly understand what this program means for you and your business's bottom line. Sunset Ford, Sunset Chevrolet, and Sumner. You just get more at Sunset. Like commercial vehicles, protected for life. And business owners do like that.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain. DayandNight.net. Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating.
From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night. Now get $100 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you live in the Seattle area or surrounding areas, you probably have been hearing a familiar booming sound flying through the sky. It's the best time of year. That's Jimothy. Jimothy's flying with the angels. No, he's not. No. He's still with us.
It's my greatest fear.
Still with us.
I think I had a Jimothy encounter yesterday, by the way. It's a different story. I can tell you about it. Let's talk about the Blue Angels. I'm serious. I was in Ballard yesterday evening.
You had a Jimothy sighting?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's
the Blue Angels.
Maybe I'm just wishful thinking here, but I'm in Ballard yesterday evening. We have some friends in town with the Golden Gardens later after a dinner, and we're coming back through the Ballard area. There's a guy, I swear, walking a cat on a leash, which is ridiculous, and then a raccoon. I swear to you, I'm not lying. This guy's walking up the sidewalk in West Ballard, close to the water. And then I hear this raccoon, the sound of a raccoon hissing and chittering, clearly.
Yeah.
And I look over, and I'm maybe it's wishful thinking. Maybe that really wasn't Johnny Depp I saw at the log boom last. What I'm saying? But I swear.
Did you see Johnny Depp?
I thought it was at the time.
Wow.
Much as I thought that was Jimothy, I really do.
I bet you it was Jimothy.
I really thought that was him.
Because he's probably pretty comfortable in front of people now.
My first thought was, okay, look, this raccoon's clearly not liking this cat on a leash. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even raccoons get that.
He hates this cat on a leash.
Well, this cat, who walks a cat on a leash? That even the raccoons get it.
Yeah.
But the back was hunched over, and the whole time I'm watching.
Could it have been like in an attack mode?
That's what my first thought was. That's what my first thought was. So maybe it wasn't. But because you know how Jimothy has the constant hunch, right? Of the shortened spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should lean into that. It was Jimothy.
Yeah. And what did I do? Drove on by.
You didn't take a picture?
No.
Well, how do you even know it exists if you don't have a picture to share it with all your friends?
I don't need to verify. I know what I saw.
In your heart, you knew.
I got my heart. Yeah, and to quote Charlie Harger, and you specifically, let him have a space.
That's true.
Let's not crowd. Let's not crowd.
Although it sounds like he's kind of.
Oh, it's a cat on a leash.
Infringing on other people's spaces.
I swear to you.
He's trying to attack a cat.
Yeah.
Poor Jimothy.
I know. And the Blue Angels are in town, too.
But the Blue Angels, let's talk about the Blue Angels for a second.
He
He just can't get enough of these Blue Angels. The Blue Angels, I saw them today. I was outside the building for a few minutes, catching a few rays of sunshine before the show started.
Charging up your solar batteries.
Charging up my batteries.
Yeah.
And I look up in the sky and a jet flies by.
How close to the ground, to the deck, as they say in the vernacular.
Listen, for me, it's never close enough. I know there's people because of Florida that want to see it further away. I feel like they overcorrected. They were way too high for me.
Fair.
I want to see them close.
Fair.
I'd like to see the visor of the pilot.
Mask. The air
the
mask.
reflective mask.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
There is no feeling on earth like watching those guys fly.
It's
There's
the best.
no feeling on earth.
Are you going to try to get down to Seafair this year? Are you going to go see him?
No,
Yeah.
I abhor crowds, but I love people. It's weird.
Crowds are no fun.
No, they're not.
I totally agree with you. I hate crowds.
I made fun of Sully for recommending that I ride the 2-line across the lake. It's really not a bad idea.
This is the best.
It is. It is.
What does this make you think of? Instantly, what does it make you think of?
Walking down the tarmac, aviator glasses on, helmet in hand, man. Our best of our best of our best.
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of the start screen on the regular Nintendo Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that?
Do they
You
have
guys remember that
license for
game?
this?
They have this song, only it's
Nice.
like played with like 8-bit music. It's so great. And then your job is like, you got to land an aircraft on it. It's crazy. Anyway,
That's great.
these guys are amazing. You can see them this weekend at Seafair. God bless those
But
Blue
no
Angels.
Fat Albert?
No Fat Albert. He's getting fixed.
Over in England getting fixed.
Over in England. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from The G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising costs and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And... customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com
or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we are meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if the natural effects of aging are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from aging. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic has been treating the undesirable effects of aging for nearly 30 years. They have more clinical experience with actual patient care than any longevity practice in the country. I've been a patient for 17 years. Wow, time flies when you got a lot of energy. I don't know where I'd be today without longevity. Longevity Medical Clinic was started so people can get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter most. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Yesterday's worst stock sell-off in over a year is a buying opportunity today, with the Dow gaining back more than half of what it lost. Cyber attacks reported at more than 30 water plants across Minnesota this past Sunday and Monday. State and federal authorities are looking into whether Iran could be responsible. The FBI says it's aware of the attacks but did not assign blame. Ukraine said the North Korean missile was used for the first time in Russia's latest strikes. A Georgia father is going to prison for ignoring warning signs before his son shot up Appalachia High School in 2024, killing 4 people. Judge Nicholas Prim sentencing the father, Colin Gray, to 15 years for the murders.
You did not provide a stable household. You did not have things in check with Marcy's issues and what the kids were being exposed to.
The son used a rifle that his dad gave him for Christmas to carry out the killings. This is ABC News. The Eagle has landed out of ICU. Alex Stone with the good news on Jackie, the California bald eagle.
Jackie is known worldwide. She and her partner Shadow have been the focus of fans watching them lay eggs and raise babies for years, thanks to a nonprofit group that put a webcam near their nest high in a tree in Big Bear, California. Well, Jackie has been sick and in an ICU unit at the Ojai Raptor Center. And now in an update, the center says Jackie has been moved from the ICU to a regular hospital unit. She remains very sick. After she was rescued, she was anemic with inflammation affecting her kidneys. She had a life-saving blood transfusion and has been on oxygen treatment. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Dozens of former students at Michigan's Interlochen Center for the Arts have come forward to allege sexual abuse going back to the 1950s. Among the alleged perpetrators, Jeffrey Epstein, who was a student and later benefactor. Also more than 40 former faculty and staff. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
New information regarding the delayed press conference Sunday night at the Bite. Details coming up. But first, let's check out that traffic. South 5 into Seattle is heavy from Northgate to I-90. We have a new collision now downtown on the Collector Distributor right at the off-ramp to I-90. It's blocking that left lane. Linwood to Seattle, though, down to a half hour. North 5, scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes to get through all this. South 405, you're crowded from South Bellevue to Renton. Very typical for this time of day. North 405, though, unusually heavy from South Center through the Renton S-curves. Tacoma to Olympia has gone up to a 50-minute commute. So now South 5, you're jamming up at State Route 16 down past the mall. And then scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia starting near Cabela's. And in Thurston County, just south of Yelm, our collision was just cleared on State Route 507, milepost 24. All lanes are back open. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Text messages obtained by the Center Square show Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson told Governor Ferguson a press conference was likely the night of the Bite of Seattle shooting, but never confirmed it. Governor Ferguson's office tells the Center Square he had no role in delaying public communication after the Bite of Seattle shooting. Ferguson's communications director says discussions about an event with elected officials were separate from SPD's public safety updates. The Center Square's TJ Martinell tells Seattle's Morning News.
I think what we're witnessing is people in leadership
fighting over who's going to take the blame for the delayed conference. I think the thing that I feel like is not being emphasized enough in a lot of comments that I've gotten is that Katie Wilson said likely a public conference later tonight, which meant there might have been no public conference. And my question is, does that mean there would have been no police briefing? Like the public would have had no idea what had happened and gotten no update until potentially the next day.
The public briefing did not start until nearly 5 hours after the shooting. A major development in a Pierce County homicide investigation. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says 21-year-old Brandon Torres Mesa has been arrested in Mexico in connection with a fatal shooting of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz in Parkland back in May. Detectives worked with the FBI South Sound Task Force, and Mexican authorities to track down Torres Mesa. He has been returned to the United States and is expected to be extradited to Washington to face charges. Well, if you can't wait for a Seafair weekend, you can get a sneak peek today. The Blue Angels are set for a couple practice runs over Lake Washington. In fact, the first one just wrapped up. The next one's scheduled at 3:30 this afternoon. Melissa Burns, an aerobatic pilot and 22-year air show veteran, got a ride-along with the Blues yesterday. She hopes when young people hear about her experience, it will inspire them to go into aviation.
And as a woman in aviation, my grandmother was a pilot. My grandfather was an Air Force test pilot. So they really, truly inspired me to get involved in aviation and air shows. The
official Boeing Seafair Air Show kicks off tomorrow at Genesee Park with the Blue Angels headlining each afternoon through Sunday, joined by an F-35B Lightning demo, a Coast Guard team, and an Army Apache crew. Let's check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Mostly sunny and 78 this afternoon, 83 and sunshine tomorrow. Then a cool down through the weekend. Partly sunny conditions and a few showers in our Saturday forecast. Highs will only reach the low 70s. Mostly sunny and 70 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of stuff to get to. This is the 1 o'clock rundown. Top stories coast to coast. And one of the biggest stories nationally, we're just going to jump right into this here. One of the biggest stories nationally is actually very close to home. In fact, Seattle's got a couple of stories. We actually neglected to put one of the stories on that we could have discussed in the 1 o'clock rundown, which is on every major news website out there, because we're kind of covering it for a big chunk of the show today, which is Katie Wilson's alleged firing at this point of Sean Barnes. We're still not sure if he has been fired or if he is just being considered to be fired.
Right.
He doesn't even seem to know. And so, but word went out last night that she gave him an ultimatum. You resign or you're fired. He decided not to resign. Then we got word that he was fired. But then today, she's meeting with local leaders in the black community who are saying, like, Katie Wilson, please rethink this. And they apparently had a very good meeting with her.
Cordial, respectful, polite.
And now they're waiting to see what she decides to do. Sean Barnes, in the meantime, says that he's taking the day off and he's going to go check Seafair out with his family, who's visiting in town because they don't live here. The whole story is kind of crazy. But that didn't make it into the 1 o'clock rundown because we got other stuff.
We're covering it every other minute of the last... Oh, it's been all week long.
Here's one of the number one stories, though, in the country. If you go to any major news website, the Seattle Storm controversy with those two young fans that got cursed out by one of the team's owners.
Co-owner Celeste Keaton.
Yeah, and what's the update from the WNBA? What have they done now to
first off, on the heels of this story, which was Tuesday night's game at the Climate Pledge Arena,
against the Indiana Fever.
And Sophie Cunningham, one of the most visible players in the WNBA, alongside, of course, Caitlin Clark. So It is the most attended game of the year. Now, Sophie Cunningham, about a week earlier, had said on a podcast that she was against transgender athletes in sports, in women's sports,
playing against biological
women. Yeah, and she's and again, we spoke this a little bit yesterday.
Yeah,
she has since this incident said, look, I'm all for trans men, trans women, biological girls, biological boys, there's a place for everybody in this world and respect for everybody in this world. So Sophie Cunningham makes this comment in a podcast. There was a rally. I don't want to call it a protest. It was a rally outside of Climate Pledge Arena on Tuesday night with support for girls in sports.
Sophie Cunningham's position.
The position in general.
Yes.
And it was a thank you, Sophie Cunningham, for standing up for girls, was the sign held by 2 fans courtside at the game on Tuesday night. A co-owner of the Seattle Storm, Celeste Keaton, felt the need to go up and confront these 2 young fans.
Teenage girls, yeah.
Teenage girls. And there was other people yelling at these girls from inside the crowd by multiple reports.
There's video. We got video of it.
Someone, I think, spat at the girls. Yeah. Someone tried to trip the girls on the way out. But more importantly, the co-owner of the Storm said some vulgarities to these kids.
Who absolutely should know better. She's an adult.
Yes, even kids should know better. I mean, especially
100%.
If you're a co-owner of a sports team in what we all consider to be one of the most inclusive communities in all of Seattle, if not all of pro sport, is the WNBA. They take great pride in pride. They make numerous efforts to make that known to the community and be inclusive. And we talked about this yesterday, and we're in complete agreement that there's no place for treating anybody. I don't care if it's 16-year-old kids or adults with a sign that says, thank you, Sophie, for standing up for girls. There's no place for giving these folks the business, almost bordering to the point of assault. You trip somebody, you spit on somebody.
I mean, there was a lot of vulgarities, a lot of
shouting, finger pointing, blah, 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 blah.
These girls, there's no way that when these girls went in holding these signs saying, thank you, Sophie, for supporting girls, there's no way that they thought, we're going to be spat upon, we're going to be the target of all of these nasty accusations. Somebody's going to try to, isn't tripping, and spitting, that would be an assault, if I'm not mistaken.
It is assault. It is assault. When you then go take it further to physical injury or physical altercations, that's when assault and battery comes into play.
Yeah, listen to this guy. We actually have audio here. Here's a guy who's yelling at these 2 teen girls. I don't know how old this guy is. He's got a hipster mustache. I'm assuming he's somewhere under 35. But he's yelling at these girls, take the trash out, take the trash out. Again, these are like teenage girls. He's old enough to know better.
You leave my daughter alone. Go. She's a minor. Security!
Take the trash out! Take the trash out!
It's just embarrassing.
This is so embarrassing. Yeah. It's
Well, the team issued an apology yesterday, so we are aware one of our co-owners made comments to 2 fans in attendance at last night's game. We apologize that this happened. Everyone who attends a Storm game deserves to feel welcome. We remain committed to create an inclusive environment where every fan is treated with respect. Of course they do. The minority owner, the co-owner, has been sentenced to? Suspended. And the punishment is she can't attend the next 5 home games.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be glib, but a team at 6-24, I think missing the next 5 home games ain't that big of a punishment. But that's just me. I do want to say though,
she did this on purpose.
So
that she
how
can
I not have to see this 6-24 team for 5 more?
How do I get out of this?
Brandy Cruz brought this to everybody's attention yesterday. It was the first reporting on this. Mm-hmm. And it was and I got this from Brandy's direct quote in her social media threads, that these girls, someone made a snide comment about what it costs to sit courtside at a Storm game, is kind of making a joke about how the team has not attended.
I made that joke.
Well, somebody in the thread, thread had made this joke. Yeah. What does it cost? $50 for 2 courtside seats?
I think I said it was $100
at a Storm game.
I don't know what it costs. But.
Brandy said that tickets were $1,600.
Okay.
And that a
wealthy
donor had donated these tickets to these girls, which makes
What's wrong with that?
Well, here's my thought on that. I'd be remiss if I didn't at least acknowledge that this was an event that no one wanted them to get spat at or tripped or harassed or assaulted, basically, or insulted by a co-owner. But when you're taking 2 teenage girls and putting them in inflammatory shirts, and I'm not saying that I don't, their point of view is their point of view, and I respect that everybody has it.
What's it? Okay.
They knew what they were doing, sending 2 teenage girls with a sign to sit courtside.
No,
yes,
I disagree with you.
And I'm not saying they expected them to get assaulted or screamed at or cursed at or spat upon.
The problem
is they wanted the story of 2 girls standing up for biological girls and biological girl sports.
I will grant you this. Obviously, somebody gifted them these seats because somebody wanted the visuals
Yes,
of somebody on the side of the court wearing the XXXY shirts, holding the sign saying, "Thank you, Sophie Cunningham, for standing up for girls."
Yeah.
Which is what their sign said.
Yeah.
There's nothing controversial about that. Unless you're assuming that the people in the audience cannot handle an opposing point of view, in which case they're going to do nasty things, which is what happened.
Well, I think somebody who got those girls the tickets and got them courtside.
You think they sent them into what they thought was a lion's den, assuming they'd be spit on and attacked?
I think they sent them to an environment where they couldn't count on people doing the right thing.
But I thought it was the most inclusive place in the world.
I'm with you.
So why would that be the case?
Not justifying that it was, but I guarantee whoever got those girls those tickets knew that something may happen.
Let me ask you this question.
We didn't send two grown men in there to hold this sign and wear these T-shirts.
No, because the grown men are not the ones playing on the team.
Well,
it's the young girls who are saying...
They didn't send two adult women in there to hold this sign.
Because it's the young girls who are affected by this. That's the whole point of the campaign.
That's I'm just saying. I'm with you. And I'm just putting out there that it's not out of the realm of possibility that then there'd be some overreaction from a fan base that prides himself on being inclusive but couldn't when the moment of truth came. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think whoever gave them these tickets thought, I'm going to send them in to be attacked. I think they probably thought this is going to be a great photo op. Maybe the folks surrounding them will give them like a side eye, maybe a side eye, but to spit on them and try to trip them and all these horrible things.
Do you think they're? I think the people who bought them the tickets and sent them in there, I don't want to say they're glad these girls were assaulted. Or I'm not saying that, but
ridiculous.
But they love this side of the story coming out, that this crowd, this inclusive community is not inclusive to opposing point of views. They love that.
I don't understand why you're calling them inclusive when they spat on them.
I was being a little bit facetious.
Oh, okay.
That this community of everyone has a safe place, as the Storm says in their apology, a place where all points of view can be respected. I think the folks that bought the tickets for those girls and put them courtside with a sign had in the back of the mind, you know, it might be a rough night, and that wouldn't be bad for our cause.
Let me ask you this question: do you think the WNBA sidles up to political slogans?
Sure,
they get involved in this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay,
sure.
So then if somebody comes in with a political slogan you don't like, if you have made yourself the league of political slogans, then you cannot. Just because you don't like their opinion. This is America.
I got you, brother. And we're in wholehearted agreement on that.
Did you see who they were sitting next to?
So inappropriate.
Did you see who they were sitting next to?
Yeah.
Did you see the sign that that person was holding?
Yeah.
What did it say?
No place for hate.
No hate in Washington State.
No hate in Washington State. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who bought that seat?
No, I get it.
This is... Did that person get attacked?
No, and I'm not. No, you're missing my point. I apologize for not clear.
What I think your point is you're saying that the person who sent them in there did so nefariously, hoping that something would happen so that they would make news. And I don't think that's the case. I think they sent them in there knowing that, hey, you know what? We're going to represent for Sophie Cunningham.
And if you think them sitting in there and oblivious to the idea that something may go sideways, I think you're being naive. There was distinctly the possibility that people could overreact. And
the reason I think it's national news today is because everybody's surprised by how horribly the crowd reacted.
Agreed. Yeah,
horribly.
I'm with you, bud. I'm with you.
Literally, the owner of the team is suspended because she went and cursed out at these young girls who were saying, "Thank you, Sophie." They put their signs away crying. This is such an ugly look.
I'm not advocating for the way those girls were treated. I'm not standing with the people who treated those girls that way.
Shouldn't you be able to walk? No, I know you're not. But shouldn't you be able to walk in, even if you have a political slogan that you don't maybe agree with? Shouldn't you be able to sit in a stadium, a public space?
Of course you should. Yeah. And the Storm agrees with both of us.
Oh, my gosh. What a crazy story that is. Just crazy. All right. Should we move on to something else?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Let's turn our attention away from Seattle.
Let's turn our attention.
Let's focus our eye outward.
Somewhere else.
Yes.
China threatens retaliation against the United States humanoid robot ban, says it severely damages relations. All right. U.S. Federal Communications Commission is saying that they have cybersecurity concerns with China's AI humanoid robots and maybe doesn't want to let those come into America in such a free-flowing, easy way.
Right.
That seems to make sense to me.
The nation with a reputation of cybercrime.
And China responds.
And pirating technology.
Yeah. China responds and says this severely damages China-U.S. economic and trade stability. Here's the thing. I've seen a lot of sci-fi movies. Humanoid robots with AI intelligence, not a huge fan. Humanoid robots with AI intelligence from China, Even less.
Yeah. So the maid could become a soldier with a flick of one button in China. And you're mad at us for that. We don't want to let these in without some kind of security assurances, protocols, safety switch, a kill switch.
This does not seem realistic. The fact that they're so upset by this also leads me to believe, like, well, what did you have planned?
Thus protest too much.
Exactly.
To quote the Bard. Yes. Exactly. What do you think about?
Are you worried about this?
Of course, I'm worried about this.
Are you happy?
I don't trust our AI robots. Let alone their AI robots.
Me neither. Here's the other thing. I saw Mark Zuckerberg was like, guys, we don't want to do this. We all want to work together on AI. And I'm just like, I don't like that either.
I don't like that. Right. I was going to ask you. See, Zuckerberg said we can't be so bad, so mean to Chinese AI models, not just even robotics.
Yeah.
Chinese AI platforms.
Be nice to their Chinese AI models
because it pays you. You be nice to him.
I was going to say he's got a large business interest in China. I think how many billions of his users are out of China? I think he has a vested interest in keeping those relationships good. But we don't make money on it, so we don't need to keep those relationships as tight as he seems to. I have no problem with them, being a little cautious on AI human. I think all humanoid robots. Do you remember that video that came out a while ago? It was like a company, like a Dutch company, and there was like a really bland-looking robot that would do chores around your house.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is a major breakthrough. And you can do all these boring tasks that take up so much of your time that suck, and you can go and have this robot do the dishes for you, fold your laundry.
Sweep your floors.
Pick up
your dog mess.
And everyone's like, this is amazing. How are you doing this? He goes, well, one small little thing. Like, yes, it looks like a robot. In reality, it's actually being operated by people out of the Philippines
making 30
who are
cents
just watching.
Making 30 cents a day.
They're making
watching
30
through the
cents
eyes.
a day, looking through the eyes. But we promise they're not going to walk around your house at night and watch you while you're sleeping. All of these things creep me out.
They should.
And maybe there'll be some day when it's like have you seen iRobot? You've seen iRobot
of course,
with Will Smith?
You bet, yeah.
It's like that's ingrained in my brain. I can't get rid of that.
And these things are that was what, almost 20 years?
20 years ago.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's a covered wagon of IA robots.
That was
now we got fighter jets of IA robots.
Old world.
Right, exactly. That one could sweep your floors and do your dishes. This one's taking your bank account and downloading files to their own government.
The first rule of robots, do not harm humans. The second rule, do not harm humans. All right, should we get to this third story here? We got to cover three.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we should. We should get to this one. This one shouldn't be really news to anybody, but it's a lead story on major websites.
This is a big story. CNN had a poll, and they said that in the midterms coming up, we're less than 100 days from the midterms.
Yeah, I think it's 97, 96 days now.
Democrats lead by 8 points, which is every midterm, it's generally shifts the other way.
Always. Yeah, there's always a historical swing to the other party in midterms.
But in general, the poll basically says everybody's sick of everybody in Congress. And they just want to get rid of everybody.
That's the news because of
Which is not
the opposing party.
And you can't do that.
Right. The opposing party could take control of the House, maybe the Senate. It all depends on how the map falls out into this particular cycle. But the fact that every one of you, regardless of your party affiliation, sucks. And we want you gone.
There's a lot of people in this poll that basically just says, you know what, we're just sick of everybody. The biggest issue, what do you think it's always the same thing, but what do you think the biggest issue is for voters in this midterm? I know what it is for me.
Sure.
But what is it for you?
Cost of living, economy.
It's cost of living.
It's got to be affordability.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
It's what they always say. It's money, it's money,
they
it's
say
money.
The kitchen table issues. Do we care about national security? Of course we do. Do we care about jobs? Of course we do. Do we care about Iran getting a nuclear weapon? Of course we do.
Yeah.
But if you can't pay rent, if your health costs have gone through the roof, if your prescriptions are more expensive, your food is up 13% this year.
We got an increase in the
gas prices. Don't even start with how that affects everybody's job every day.
Mortgage rates.
Mortgage rates went up. Flat, yep, highest mortgage rates.
I think they went up. Didn't they go up? They might have gone up.
The rates went up because the prime rate stayed flat.
Okay.
There wasn't a drop that was hoped for.
People just want to be able to afford things. They just want to be able to afford things and live their life and buy gas and
I think
focus
that's
on those
pretty
easy
reasonable.
things.
It's a fair ask of your government.
The question is, who can deliver that? Who can deliver the more affordable thing?
And that's why the party in charge always takes a hit in the midterms.
Yeah.
Because no one can ever live up to their campaign promises. You campaign in platitudes, you govern in prose. Is that how it all plays out? There's a practicality of what you can and can't do with a government, and you can't meet the promises made on the campaign trail. Everyone suffers from that reality check come the midterms.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Everything's
Step in for the working man.
Crazy expensive these days. All right, we got the question of the day when we come back. Just a quick...
reframe it, kid, if he wants to get it late.
A quick reframe.
Yeah.
If you guys missed this earlier, Katie Wilson maybe possibly secretly fired Chief Sean Barnes. We don't know and he doesn't know. Does she know? But the word we got late last night was that he had been fired.
Which he confirmed to numerous sources.
And then, but she's not confirming now.
His officers down the line, a chain of command, were told, confirmed it to numerous other sources.
Yeah. So the question to you is, for the question of the day, was this firing justified, or was this just a way for Katie Wilson to distract from her poor performance? We got a lot of questions on that. We got a lot of answers from you guys too on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. We're going to dig into that next. We got some audio. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by it. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So pump your fist, call your favorite Walter, and head to T-Mobile Park because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. Nothing but the express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The Mariners are back in town tomorrow, and the fun gets started with 50 Seasons Fireworks Night, presented by T-Mobile. Then don't miss Aloha Shirt Day Saturday, presented by Fred Meyer, and Super Mario Day Sunday, featuring a Julio Rodriguez bobblehead giveaway. Thanks to Nintendo. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
All right, I'm talking with Phil Mitchell, who is a new buddy, and he's also an advertiser on the show. Phil, I'm really interested in people's stories. You have a pretty amazing background. You own Sunset Auto Family. You employ a lot of people. You do great business in the community, but you started at the bottom. Tell me a little bit about that.
Jake, I started in the car business as a lot attendant, basically washing cars with a hose and soap and water, and just happened to, be in the right position at the right time, started selling cars and did pretty good at that and became a sales manager. And I've had a lot of great mentors that have helped me and guided me. And so now it's my turn to be a mentor and try to do the same thing for somebody else.
That's fantastic. How many years have you been in this business now?
I've been in it a long time, so I know every inch. I've done just about every job you can do in it. It's a family business. My son's in the business. He runs one of the stores.
Well, let me tell you what. I got 4 sons. One of them is looking for a job in about 4 years.
Bring him down, buddy.
I'm going to send him to the Sunset Auto Family.
I got a hose and bucket. Let's go.
I love it. Go see him at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle City Council President just spoke to the media moments ago, confirming now the mayor asked Police Chief Sean Barnes to resign. Joy Hollingsworth calls that a reckless decision.
I think this point in time, this is not the appropriate call that we need to be doing as a city, and it's not sending the proper message to residents.
Hollingsworth also says she believes Barnes is still acting police chief, though sources tell KIRO News Radio the mayor fired him. Meantime, Barnes tells the Seattle Times he has the day off, while the president of the police union says the rank and file are still in the dark. Kent Liu tells KIRO News Radio's Jake and Spike.
I think Barnes was under the impression that he was fired, but the mayor's office won't confirm it. And here we are. So we really have no idea.
He says this is all a distraction from the tragedy of Sunday's gang-related shooting at the Bite of Seattle. Liu says officers are still hard at work on that investigation, still looking for that third suspect. To the closing bell report now with big gains on Wall Street. The Dow up 614, S&P gained 121, the tech-heavy NASDAQ up 680 points. And Amazon numbers just coming out. A strong second quarter, sales up 20% from a year ago to more than $200 billion. Amazon Web Services leading the way there. Revenue climbed 37%. That is its fastest growth in more than 4 years, fueled by demand for AI and cloud computing. U.S. economy slowed in the second quarter, growing at a sluggish 1.5% annual rates. That is down from 2.1% in the first quarter. Economists point to fallout from the Iran conflict. ABC's Sherry Preston says it's had a big impact on energy prices.
The new estimate from Moody's Analytics shows a typical American household has spent an extra $672 in gas, diesel, home heating, and jet fuel expenses since the start of the Iran war.
Latest numbers from the Fed's preferred gauge on inflation. The personal consumption expenditure shows a 3.7% jump in prices year over year. Takes us to 1:32 now. We have Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Let's get you into Seattle from the north end. South 5, crowded from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour. We cleared our earlier crash, South 5 on the collector distributor near the I-90 off-ramp, but now I'm hearing of a new stall just as you hop on the collector distributor, blocking your left lane. North 5, scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes to get through this. South 405, you're crowded from South Bellevue into Renton. Let's see, Bellevue to Renton right now, just over 20 minutes. Eastbound on the West Seattle Bridge, you're going to jam up at Highway 99. North 405, bumper to bumper through those Renton S-curves. And Tacoma to Olympia hovering at 50 minutes. South 5 has kind of cleared up through South Tacoma, but we're still dealing with scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia, starting near Cabela's. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And good night. Now to your forecast. We're seeing sunshine this afternoon, a nice day today, and again for tomorrow with highs each day in the upper 70s. Could see some low 80s for Friday. And right now, 72 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Tell you what, this Chief Sean Barnes getting fired or not fired, and Katie Wilson, and whether or not she fired him or didn't fire him or just asked him to take the day off and go visit Seafair and have a hot dog, I have no idea what's going on. The whole thing is crazy. Now you have the Seattle City Council, who just had a meeting. You heard about it. Aaron talked about it in the top of the hour, bottom of the hour news break there. Seattle City Council is saying, we don't think that he's fired. He's still acting chief. This was Council President Joy Hollingsworth. We're going to get to the question of the day in just a second, by the way. But Joy Hollingsworth confirms Chief Barnes is currently still police chief. She might want to tell Mayor Katie Wilson, but this is what Hollingsworth had to say.
So I know that there's a lot of mixed communication. I have not been given official word that he is not our police chief anymore. I know that he has been asked to resign, but he is still our police chief.
She says that he was asked to resign, but only resign.
Where are we if we're somewhere between, like, he was asked to resign, but he hasn't yet resigned?
Yeah.
How do you know that, I guess?
Yeah, I was informed by the police chief that he was asked to resign, and I know from the mayor directly he was asked to resign.
Okay, so here's the thing. We have heard from other people that there was also calls made from him to people down the line saying that he had been fired, right?
That's what I've heard, and numerous sources inside that department have told various media outlets, not just us, that the chief of police in Seattle called his subordinates to say, I've been fired.
What is going on?
Can we do a little role play, you and I?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay.
Like a sexy?
Yeah, you and I. No.
Okay.
Put your
put my shirt back on.
Put your chief hat on for me.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna put my mayor's what do you call it? A handkerchief? A babushka? What do you call those things you tie around?
She wears pantsuits. Your mayor's
pantsuit. I'm
pantsuit.
gonna put my pantsuit on and say, we're gonna play a little rope. Okay, Chief Barnes, resign or you're fired.
Excuse me?
Resign or you're fired.
Only one of those two options.
That's the choices. Chief Barnes, resign or you're fired.
Well, I'm not going to resign.
Well, you're fired. End scene. That's what happened. I mean, I'm just speculating because we have the
lawsuit
luxury
incoming.
We have the luxury of giving our opinions and speculating on the news of the day.
Yep.
The chief of police doesn't go forth and say, "Hey, I've been fired." If the mayor,
he's only been told to resign. Yeah,
right, exactly. He said, "I'm not resigning." He said, "Well, I think the words, well, then you're fired."
Joy Hollingsworth said, "This is pretty reckless," and I think we would all agree with that.
I didn't call her reckless. This action is reckless. I've seen the mayor deliver on a...
I got to pause it there. Joy Hollingsworth, come on.
That's an educated, smart political thing to say. This act was reckless. Are you saying the mayor's reckless? No, this act was reckless.
That's
careful.
Okay. Everybody's working so hard not to offend
You were punched
anyone.
in the nose. I'm not saying you
it's
punched
like Katie
in
Wilson
the
saying, I'm endorsing these people. Oh, you're endorsing non-incumbents as a mayor? No, not me as mayor. Me as Katie Wilson, private citizen.
Gal about town.
This action is reckless. The mayor's reckless? No. I would never say she's reckless. What I will say is this action is reckless. Not Katie Wilson. But who did the reckless thing? But wouldn't that then make them reckless? Continue, Mr. Hollingsworth.
Some things this year that I support, continue to support, whether it's the late...
All right, whatever. Make your point faster. All right.
City Council should put their support behind the chief of police in Seattle
Who's in charge? That's the question. Well, that's the problem, too. Who's in charge?
Well, you pointed out earlier that the people are getting into camps right now. Governor Ferguson clearly dug his way under the fence line and got out of Katie Wilson's camp last night.
He said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in Olympia. Don't call me.
Now she's the one. Please call.
Please call.
Yeah. Flip the script. But the city council just clearly took themselves out of the mayor's camp.
We have a manhunt actively still happening, and all anyone is talking about is Katie Wilson maybe firing or not firing the police chief, and he's off eating elephant ears or whatever they're eating at the Seafair.
You have a dog first, then you have the elephant ears. Yeah, you do it.
Don't get me wrong. I love elephant ears.
I do too.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I would rather he be doing his job as chief of police and catching bad guys.
And I'm sure he would too. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. because he's often out of town.
Well, he was out of town last weekend. This weekend he's
All right, we had a question of the day. We said, is Katie Wilson firing Sean Barnes? Is it justified, or do you think it's just her trying to save face and distract from her own poor response and try to get the spotlight off of her? You guys had a lot of responses to this. Go for it, Spike.
Mike in Puyallup says, does anyone recall the debate last year between Bruce Harrell and Katie Wilson regarding how to respond in an emergency? Didn't she stammer a bit and then offer that she would call people?
You are totally...
I'll call people.
Right. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That was a really... Oh, my gosh. I'm going to try to find this here. You keep talking. I'm going to try to find it.
You know, what would you do in a crisis? How do you respond to an emergency? I'd call people. Which is, okay, I get the wisdom of, I'm going to go to experts in their field, experts of departments in this city put in place to handle emergency situations. I'm going to call, I'm going to gather my troops, my team. I'm going to call people.
I don't have it. Shoot, I remember that specifically.
Yeah,
I remember that specifically. She was going to go down the tree and call people.
You got to call somebody.
All right, this is 360 says, I'm sure Katie Wilson is a nice person, but she has zero experience or know-how to run a city the size of Seattle. Those who voted her in are now getting what they deserve. Complete chaos. Very good.
Hard to argue. Oh, 253, thank you. 253 says, send Spike in as a secret agent to go work for Katie Wilson. Who doesn't like a good conversation with this guy?
Tell you what, there's a job opening. There's a good job opening.
I saw the
$272,000 a year to be her director of communications.
I could fly to Chicago every other weekend with that kind of money.
That is pretty good money. You could. All right. We got the cut of her in the debate. Let's hear this. Listen
Ms. Wilson, let's say an earthquake strikes the region. You're the new mayor. What 3 specific steps would you take upon feeling the first shaking?
That's a great question. I'd probably make some phone calls.
Thank you very much for that, by the way.
I'd insult our largest employer. I'd fire the chief of police. Sorry.
I'd make sure
I don't mean to pile on, but it's a circus. It is a circus.
It's clear she doesn't. So how did she get elected?
Change. People love change. We talked last break about how the incumbents in Congress are doomed, whether they're doing a good job or a bad job.
It doesn't matter because there's always a
pox on both your houses. I called it last November. I said, well, I'm living in knee-jerk flats because we can't give a mayor. You may have had problems with Harrell. You know, that's fine, but felt like we were headed in the right direction.
Yeah, but certainly more than now. Fernando in Seattle says this firing of Chief Barnes was not justified, even though the station was in a frenzy for his head. Whoever is advising Katie is not doing her any favors and now has made her look even more incompetent with this firing. Fernando, I think you've zeroed in on the problem, which is I don't think she has any advisors right now. That would be my guess. I really feel like she's just kind of running around just doing what she wants in the moment, and then she has to back it up, like she had an overreaction, made a big mistake.
That was an overreaction.
Remember that from The Office?
Yes, absolutely.
Fun. Go ahead.
Doug in Mount Vernon, I want to address something else from Fernando's statement, too, that this station was in a frenzy for Chief Barnes' head. Take issue with that, and I'll tell you why. Doug in Mount Vernon says, this show, ours, was a bit impatient asking if Chief Barnes should be fired yesterday. We're just asking the question of you, the audience.
We were impatient? Yeah. No, did you not listen to the show, Doug? I made the argument that he should not be fired. The day before he was fired, I said, don't fire him because then she can replace him. We don't want Katie Wilson replacing Chief Sean Barnes because Katie Wilson has a history of wanting to defund police. She fundamentally does not understand police. So to hire the top cop seems like something she's not qualified for. Thank you, Doug.
Jamestown in Eastlake says, why fire the chief and not the PIO? As was previously pointed out, why are we not talking about the victims? Is now not a good time to focus on them? Of course we will talk about the victims. I hope we have respectfully enough to acknowledge the victims of this mass shooting, this gang-related mass shooting. The 3 deaths, of course, the 2 innocent bystanders and the gang member who died in a gunfire that was possibly initiated by himself. It's still a tragedy when a 19-year-old is involved in gang violence and shoots others and ends up dying in gunfire. That's a tragedy in itself. Of course, we're speaking to the victims and the families.
Yeah, but there's also
the shootings.
You also want to make sure that you're highlighting how you got to this point, and it's poor leadership that lets it get to this point, which is what And it's also poor leadership that allows the discussion to be about what's happening in leadership and not about catching those responsible.
The fact that we still may have 1 or more suspects at large in gang-related gun violence. We don't know how many people we're looking for, who we're looking for, what weapons were used.
Here's a good one from Steve in downtown Seattle. A little different. He says, I completely agree with her decision to fire Sean Barnes. She didn't fire him. He fired himself by his absence and lack of performance. That's an interesting take. Joey in Elk Plains says, firing the police chief could be a win-win. He could get millions for the firing, screw up, and maybe Seattle voters may start to wake up and realize putting gilded paint on rotted wood is not smart. That was just beautiful, Joey.
Well, seriously, Joey.
Got away with words.
Plain.
Thank you.
Little typewriter by the fire, I'm sure. It's wonderful. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for responding to the question of the day. We have a lot more coming up. It's feeding time next. We're going to look at our social media feeds. We're going to see what they're shoving down our throats. We're going to move away from the Katie Wilson, Sean Barnes, Days of Our Lives stuff for a moment. And there's something... I saw something crazy with Washington Law School, so it was popping up in my feeds.
Oh, okay.
And I'll detail it for you next.
Great.
Because it don't make no sense. I don't understand it, and I need your help understanding it. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from The G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our Summertime Savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay." but we have to get through these steps. Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
When the heat's in 11, cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net.
Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
KIRO News Radio is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the KIRO Newsradio app or visit mynorthwest.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
That's mynorthwest.com/win.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, you and I, we spent a fair amount of our time disagreeing on things. We talk about the legalese of certain issues.
Yeah, we do.
In a fun way.
I'm respectful way, I hope. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's a interesting and pleasant thing to be a part of for folks.
Yeah. We kind of think of this place as like just a place that folks can hang out and maybe have some arguments and discussions. Sometimes it's not the focus of the show, but sometimes you and I can argue and have fun conversations that other folks may not feel like they can have in normal life because you wouldn't want to lose a friend or be out of polite society. And you and I, we don't really care. We have fun with it.
We do. Plus, I will say this. Oftentimes we put ourselves in positions that don't challenge our point of view.
Yeah.
Not you and I, but as a society.
Just in life.
Especially with regard to our feeds. I'm trying to get,
Yep.
It's nice to talk to somebody on a regular basis that see things from a different perspective.
See things in a little different way.
Yeah.
100%. So, did you ever consider going into law?
Yes.
Was that ever a thing that you thought about?
Absolutely. I love the law. I just didn't have. I wasn't enough of a dedicated book student.
It's tough.
It's tough.
You got to do all the studying, and then you got to pass the bar exam, which I've heard is very, very difficult. Or
there are people who have to go 3-4 times to try to pass the bar.
Yeah,
it's not uncommon.
In fact, there's what's the? Did you ever see the movie Rainmaker?
Oh, is that
with
Matt Damon? Yes.
It wasn't his secret advisor on that, Danny DeVito. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Danny DeVito played a guy who just keeps failing the bar.
Right, but he was a brilliant litigator,
but he was
attorney.
not a good test taker.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But Matt Damon passed the bar, but he was young and inexperienced, and the two of them teamed up to make the perfect team. Anyway, in Washington State, recently, you have a bunch of lawyers, or a bunch of would-be lawyers, who were traveling to Yakima to take the bar exam. Now, this is apparently, it's a multi-day process. There's a technical aspect to it, as there is with everything these days. I'm sure there's computers that they have to take it on. Anyway, there was a technical issue. And so you have all these, aspiring attorneys traveling to Yakima for this 2-day test taking. And because of this technical issue, they're not able to complete the bar exam. And it ends up getting canceled for all of these students, 645 of them would be lawyers in Washington State. And so what the Washington State Bar Association said was, all right, we're going to reschedule this for everybody down the road, and we're going to reschedule it in Tacoma for you guys to go and take it at a couple more days in Tacoma. And now you have all 3 law schools in Washington. They're now asking the state Supreme Court to step in, and because of the time and the financial burden and the hassle of these students who, through no fault of their own in Yakima were unable to take the bar exam, they're asking the state Supreme Court to just grant them a diploma and a pass of the bar exam.
What?
Listen to this. I'm not even kidding. This is the dean of the Seattle University Law School. This is in Seattle Times. He said this. He wrote a letter to the court making this request, and he said, "Well, there are no good solutions in this very difficult situation. Diploma privilege presents by far the most equitable remedy." He says it is devastating and disruptive for these students to have to go and take this test again down in Tacoma and having had to miss it in Yakima. What's your response to this, by the way? And this is our feeding time discussion today. This was at the top of my feeds.
Well, good. I was going to say all my feeds look like this today.
Oh,
there's
Blue
a Blue
Angels.
Angel zipping by the Space Needle. So many people. Thank you.
Both
Yeah,
feeds.
we've covered both feeds. Mine's easy breezy. I love it.
What do you think about this? Just let them say hey, everybody passes.
This is the dean of the UW School of Law?
Seattle University Law School.
Seattle U. Okay.
Which I would have a big question mark on if he's saying that they don't need to take the bar exam.
Just pass them all. We don't teach dummies here. They all can take it. He says it's too much of an inconvenience to go to truck your little self down to.
Yes.
You were going to Yakima. Right?
You can't go to Tacoma?
You can't go to Right. You can't go to Tacoma. I mean, I could see, hey, you know what? Give them the privilege of certificate. What do they call it? The diploma, a privilege of diploma. There was a vernacular he used. I'm not a legalese.
Sure.
But you want to give them that until they do go down and take the bar, not hold up their practice of law.
Diploma privilege is what he wants them to be granted.
That's If you want to allow them diploma privilege until at a later date they can go take that test at their convenience.
I wouldn't even do that. I would say, like, tough luck. Bad things happen in life sometimes, and sometimes you catch the wrong end of the stick. The pass rate in Washington, listen to this. Not everybody passes the bar exam. It's very difficult on purpose. In Washington, there was a 72% pass rate when it was administered last July. There was a 50% pass rate when it was administered in February, according to the National Conference of Bar Exams.
And this guy thinks we should just.
And this guy wants to let everybody just walk on through and become lawyers.
No. I'm sorry.
Idea. If you missed it, if you were going to be a licensed driver on the road and they couldn't administer the test that day.
Yeah, snow day.
Do you think they're going to say, hey, you know what? Just take it.
Go ahead. Get out there.
It's not like you're going to be representing somebody's life in court without a license to do so.
And no. I mean, I could see you can practice and take it at your earliest convenience. And if you don't pass it, then we're going to pull your license till you do. But I think requiring a passing grade on the bar exam is not too much to ask.
I feel like they should pass the bar exam. It's worked for a lot of years.
Nuts, man.
It does seem nuts to me, too. But who knows? We're not lawyers. Maybe it's... I have no idea why this guy would say this. I certainly wouldn't put my name on it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. 2 o'clock is going to be a big hour for us. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
All right, I'm very happy to have Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family on with me right now. And Phil, you guys offer such an amazing value for people who are driving their cars a little bit longer now. And you guys offer repairs for life. How does that work?
Basically, we're going to cover any repair we do for $250 or over for as long as you own the vehicle.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say that I buy my vehicle elsewhere. My transmission on my car breaks down. You guys fix it. 10 years later, I have the same problem. You guys are going to fix that again for no cost?
That's right. No cost to you for as long as you own the vehicle.
So why would you even offer this? This has got to be incredibly expensive for you.
You know what? We just want to keep our customers for life. So chances are if we do a repair for life and we take good care of you, you might look us up when you decide to get a new vehicle. And we want to be your lifetime dealer.
So somebody really does feel like they're part of the Sunset Auto family.
That's exactly right. We want you to be part of the family, and that's why we take good care of you.
Oil changes for life, warranty protection for life, and repairs for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Boytine from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Summer is in full swing at T-Mobile Park, and it's not too late to come on board as a Mariners season ticket member. With a Flex plan, you can choose your games and seats as you go and lock in priority postseason presale access. Join today at mariners.com/flex.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. The closing bell had a different tone today, recovering more than half the losses from the worst sell-off in the Dow in more than a year, led by Microsoft's best earnings in 18 years, the Dow climbing 614. The FBI is aware of cyber attacks this week at more than 30 water plants across Minnesota. It did not confirm suspicions by some state and local officials that Iranian hackers may be to blame. After President Trump said he may pull the nomination of Todd Blanche for Attorney General, Blanche met today with the men blocking the vote, John Cornyn and Tom Tillis. Senator Cornyn is a no because Blanche hasn't fully abandoned the compensation fund President Trump wants.
And I know that Todd Blanche understands it, but I think he's probably getting some pushback from the White House, and that's making things more complicated than it needs to be.
Georgia father Colin Gray sentenced to 15 years for ignoring warning signs when his son killed 4 people at a high school. This is ABC News. The census says 12 million Americans moved in 2024, most inside their home states. As for the rest, here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
U-Haul is out with its mid-year statistics on who's moving where based on one-way rentals of trucks and trailers. Baby boomers are flocking to the Carolinas, according to the moving company, while millennials and members of Gen X are headed to Texas and Florida. And Gen Z, people born between 1997 and 2012, U-Haul says New York City was their top destination in the past year.
The floodwaters that claimed lives in the Northeast, where searches are still underway, should soon be receding, says ABC meteorologist Leslie Lopez.
We still have some rain in some of these areas. Now, I will say that most of the rain is much lighter, and the low pressure center that had been pushing in all that heavy rain is exiting out of the area. So the good news is we're going to start to see those floodwaters recede.
A search is on for a 10-year-old girl still missing in the Passaic River in New Jersey. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Is Seattle's police chief still on the job? The latest from city council members after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, the Seattle Sports has our update. Big backups at the Hood Canal Bridge this afternoon due to an earlier marine crossing. Eastbound 104, you've got about a 3-mile backup, but northbound 3, a 4-mile bumper-to-bumper backup. In Everett, our Boeing shift change is underway, and this clogs up eastbound 526, and soon this traffic will be hitting I-5, most of it in the northbound direction. South 5 into Seattle, crowded from Northgate to I-90, and it gets thick there on the Ship Canal Bridge. Linwood to Seattle, we're down to 25 minutes. North 5, scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge, 25 minutes to get through this. Both directions of 405 are jam-packed through South Center. Both directions of I-5 slow through South Tacoma. Tacoma to Olympia has gone up to 55 minutes with more scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia starting there near Cabela's. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle's mayor has asked the city's police chief, Sean Barnes, to step down. That's according to City Council President Joy Hollingsworth. She spoke with reporters at City Hall.
I have not been given official word that he is not our police chief anymore. I know that he has been asked to resign, but he is still our police chief.
You do know that he was asked to resign?
That is correct.
Now, Councilmember Rob Saka says he's also waiting for official word on Barnes. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch just spoke to Saka at City Hall and joins us live. James.
Aaron, Councilmember Saka is a matter-of-fact guy. He's a straight shooter, and he doesn't mince words. In his office just a few minutes ago, Saka told me that the mayor gave 3 council members a heads up about her plans. He wasn't one of them and says he's very disappointed.
I think a decision of this impact, severity, and consequence should have been communicated in advance to all 9 council members.
Saka also expressed a very high level of confidence in SPD Chief Sean Barnes. Live in downtown Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Also at City Hall today, a coalition of black organizations met with the mayor to demand she keep Barnes as police chief. Bishop Reggie Witherspoon is with Mount Calvary Christian Center.
She listened well, made some comments at the end, and we admonished her again. And we can only hope that she makes the right decision.
Now, all of this uncertainty, of course, following Sunday's shooting at the Bite of Seattle. 3 people died there. Chief Barnes was out of town at the time on a work trip. There have been a lot of questions since then about his time off and a lack of information from the city in the immediate aftermath. Washington Supreme Court rules Washington State University had a legal duty to protect a freshman who died from alcohol poisoning during a fraternity hazing ritual in 2019.
Washington Supreme Court says WSU can be held liable in the hazing death of Jolene Houtz's 19-year-old son, Sam Martinez.
I remember covering my head with my arms and sinking to the pavement on my knees and wailing until I was hoarse.
Her son's death led to the passage of Sam's Law, which requires university employees in our state to report hazing. And this 5-4 ruling from the state's high court allows his family's wrongful death lawsuit to go to trial. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
We have reached out to Washington State University for comment. To your forecast now, looking at sunshine this afternoon and highs today in the mid to upper 70s, low 80s tomorrow. Some clouds return for Seafair weekend, along with some light rain at times. Right now, 74 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour left to go. We'd love to hear from you. If you guys want to get in on the conversation, you can always text us for last call, which we will do at the end of this hour. You can reach us at 888-973-5476. That's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Spike, were you listening to the top of the hour news break with Aaron there just a second ago?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you hear those comments from Rob Saka?
I did.
So we've been talking a lot today. Obviously, it's been in the news, but a lot today about Mayor Katie Wilson's possible firing, at least demand for resignation, Also, maybe a firing of Seattle Police Department's chief, Sean Barnes. And according to Saka, she made her intentions known to 3 of the 9 city council members. I got to say, every single time she does any act as mayor, she's just stepping in it. Why wouldn't you make the entire city council aware of this? He's not wrong. If she's picking out her favorites and saying, you need to know this, you need to know this, what about the 6 others who are then just kept in the dark? And now they're in the situation where they're going to have to, if she does end up firing Sean Barnes, or if he ends up deciding to resign, which I think at this point feels impossible to me that he would resign, because if he does, he's leaving a ton of money on the table.
Right.
She's going to have to name a successor at some point, and it will be the city council who has to confirm that successor after a period of time. She's not winning any friends here, and it's pretty obvious that I think it's highlighting the fact that she has no background in managerial experience. She's never led anything. She doesn't know how to coordinate with people. She's not discussing things with people. She's not talking with people. The people who are literally paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to work for her are leaving the job for some reason that we're not seeing behind closed doors. And now, think about who she's not at odds with. That her sphere of influence is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You have Bob Ferguson, governor of the state. Last night, he puts out a text message, a screenshot he releases to the media, showing his text chain interaction with Katie Wilson on the day of the shooting, basically proving that it was not him who caused the delay for dignitaries when they waited over 5 hours to do a presser and give information out to the public.
It's been poorly handled at every step of the way.
Every step of the way, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
If you're the mayor and you confide in 3 of the 9 members of the Seattle Council that you plan to fire the chief of police of your city, who's been on the job for
a year,
who was the result of a national search, and those city council members don't say, you might want to take a step back and look at all the possible ramifications of this.
Yeah, maybe wait till the manhunt's over.
Yeah, but I mean,
just that one.
I was thinking about exposing yourself to possible litigation.
Yeah,
which is clearly going to be the case. Or what's your cause? Because we haven't heard a word.
It's a great question.
Haven't heard a word about cause. For what? Why? The word "why" comes to mind. Thinking about telling the chief to resign or want to fire him. Why?
Why?
Was it the breakdown? Was it the breakdown in communication? Was it too much time out of the office? Was it the altercation with the reporter?
Yeah.
Tell me why. Because there are policies in place with public employees. And again, it ain't like she's trying to put cupcakes out of a bakery. She's running a major American city.
Am I wrong about this? Were we not getting updates every 6 hours after the fact that they didn't do one for 5 hours after the shooting? Mm-hmm. Then they do an update at 11 p.m. that night. They do another one at 8 a.m. the next morning. They do another one at 4 p.m. And now it's radio silent. And then they did more the following day, going overboard to make sure we knew that there was transparency and communication. Mm-hmm. And now, what have we heard from Katie Wilson today? Nothing.
Well, that's not by accident. I think I'm speculating, of course. It's my job. The doors are closed. The wagons are circled. They're coming. What do I do next?
Sure.
Now she's getting the war counsel that she should have gotten prior to making this delivering this ultimatum to the chief of police.
Who do you think's in there with her? I mean, we don't have to go over specific names, but
I would assume
if the communications director's no longer there.
Yeah. Well, I think she's getting advice from the city attorneys to the point about, hey, you better have just cause for firing a police chief, but on top of that, a minority police chief, and that's not insignificant in this. Part of the reason chiefs.
I don't think he should have extra money that he's owed because of.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying if
from a PR perspective.
Well, from a civil rights perspective, if the chief of police is out of town because he's speaking at the NOBLE, the National Association of Black Law Enforcement Officers and Executives, that's where he was this weekend.
Okay, that was in Dallas, I think.
Yeah, and he spoke at various different events coast to coast because of his position in that community, which is prominent and well-deserved and well-earned. It's a position of note. I'm just saying, if you're talking about firing a guy, don't think that's not going to be part of his case against the city.
It could be.
And somebody from the attorney's office said, at least consider that. You can't, I mean, the whole point of this is the mayor's not thinking, if I do this, what's next? What happens next? What are the ramifications for my actions?
Call me old-fashioned, but I don't think we should be hiring people based on race.
I'm not saying we are.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm not saying that you're saying that. I think she's in a very tricky position. a very tricky position.
That she stepped into
that
herself.
she did to
Yes.
herself.
Absolutely. Bob.
Absolutely.
Yep.
To his travel, I do still think that the travel is an issue. Is it a fireable offense? I don't think so.
I can't imagine it was a surprise to anybody in the mayor's office that
There's
the chief of police you hired.
There's no way they didn't know.
That they didn't know that every time he goes to D.C. or Dallas or wherever, or the 4 times he's gone to Chicago in the last 4 or 5 months to see family. Which, when you look at it from that, if it was just family travel, I've said this before, if it was just family travel, it's understandable. When it's family travel on top of office-required travel, that's when it tends to be getting a little heavy in the not here department.
The question of the office required travel is something that they should reevaluate if he decides to keep the job, because I don't think
exactly.
So if he's going to go to a bunch of conferences to support whoever, I think his priority needs to be on safety in Seattle and not conferences supporting whoever in other states.
And if you choose those conferences, if they're enough a priority for you, enough important enough, then you have to sacrifice some time in the family in Chicago because you're out of town far too many weekends.
Yeah, 12 out of 16 weekends, too much.
Right.
Too much.
Right.
And if he wants to be more of a national figure, then that's something that he needs to pursue in his own time. And there's vacation days for that. But I don't think that the city should be relinquishing his services around the country when he's needed here.
Well, agreed. But I'm just saying, I don't think that was a surprise to the mayor's office.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I don't
They
think
knew
it's a
about that
fireable
full
offense.
on ahead.
Yeah, and I think probably there was a blessing in place that, hey, if you're going to go around and do these things and represent the city, that's probably an agreement that they had come to behind closed doors.
Yeah, because
maybe the public wasn't aware of.
They got the guy they wanted. He had some leverage. He was the guy they wanted after a national search. I mean, I'll take the job, but I want to be responsible to this community and these engagements and these appointments.
It certainly is feeling though like there's a bad wind a blowing for Katie Wilson right now.
Yeah.
It feels like every single thing that she's doing. So what is the next domino to fall? Like, that's my question. Like, we had the question yesterday to the audience. We said, is Katie Wilson going to fire Sean Barnes? Should she? And our coverage on the show, I mean, at least my contention was, it's not a good idea for Katie Wilson to fire Sean Barnes, because I am genuinely concerned about who she would prioritize to replace him in that role, given her history of defunding police and all that stuff that only magically changed when she was running for public office.
I couldn't disagree with you on that. But it's also, I don't think it's a good idea to fire Chief Sean Barnes, because I think he's a good cop. I think he's a good leader. I think he's a good guy. I think he's the right guy for the job. We have to look at how he does the job with regard to being out of town so often.
Yeah.
But he's the guy they picked.
I liked him. When he came in studio, I thought he was a nice guy. I felt like he seems competent. He can do the job.
Yeah.
I don't like all the travel.
Agreed.
That would be something that I think
that's a renegotiation.
He should maybe rein that in a little bit if he keeps the job.
Yeah.
But what is interesting is now it's like a breakup where you're seeing the two different people. You're seeing people choose sides. It sounded to me very much like the city council and Rob Saka in that clip. It sounded like he's saying like, "Hey, we're on Team Barnes, we're not on Team Wilson."
Kind of what the governor said too.
The governor most definitely
I don't see
said
a lot of people run into Camp Katie on this one. I just don't.
Is the silence from the governor these last? I mean, is this just a smart political move? And what about the people that she endorsed for these positions? You know what I mean?
I do.
Like, there's a lot of local politicians that are just basically like, "Hey, Katie Wilson, enjoy being out in the wind.
Yeah.
We're not interested in helping you," because she was pretty quick to endorse against incumbents.
Yeah.
And this is why you don't do stuff like that, generally.
This story has taken over the narrative post this mass shooting, this gang-related mass shooting at the center. It was revealed this morning that the 15-year-old that's in custody, who was in possession of a ghost gun, we got that information 36 hours after the fact or something like that.
89 millimeter, altered with a 31 mag, extended, whatever.
It was disclosed this morning that none of those bullets that were fired from that gun were the bullets that took the lives of the innocent bystanders. Those deaths were a result of a different firearm, which the city doesn't seem to be in possession of yet. It wasn't the ghost gun that killed those bystanders or the gang member.
And we don't know if the 19-year-old who died on the scene, who they suspect was involved in the incident, had a weapon. They haven't said yet whether or not he had a weapon, right?
No, they have not said that. They haven't said so much.
But they did recover 3 weapons at the scene.
2 weapons at the scene. The third weapon was recovered after the fact in the cleanup,
near vendors,
in the cleanup efforts of the vendors post melee. Yeah.
One of the weapons that was found was just a standard, unaltered handgun, and then another one was an additionally altered gun,
modified
with
gun,
like a 40
with
mag,
automatic
whatever.
switch, or there was, yeah.
The question that I have, though, is what's going to happen to this 15-year-old now? Because we have these really relaxed juvenile laws. You can be arrested, 5 different times with 5 different weapons?
5 different times with a gun. This was, I think, the second time this child, at 15, he's technically a child, he was firing into the crowd. His weapon didn't fire any of the bullets that took lives, if I've understand. I'm hoping I'm getting this correct because it's important. But witnesses are saying that he wasn't the first person to fire shots, which gives him a viable self-defense claim.
But he's illegally operating a gun that's also illegal. Like, he's a 15-year-old, he's underage, you can't have a gun, even if it's not altered. But the gun is also illegal.
Correct. And I also heard reported, to your point earlier, it takes 5 different weapons.
There's no homicide counts against this kid.
No. There's not.
So the likelihood of him spending any meaningful time locked up is pretty slim.
At 15, I think 30 days is the number I heard as a maximum.
Jeez Louise.
Sentence for a kid using a gun an illegally possessed gun in self-defense to a juvenile with only one prior gun altercation. The maximum time this kid could spend in juvenile is 30 days.
Does that seem right? Does that seem right to you?
Absolutely not.
That seems very wrong to me.
Unless, as at 15, a judge has discrepancy to charge this young man as an adult,
which is not going to happen.
We don't know.
I would be shocked if it.
Put your judge role on for a second.
Okay.
Go for the powder wig if you want to.
Yes, I do.
You're a judge who's got a 15-year-old with one prior gun-involved incident.
Yes.
He then fired a high-capacity, automatic, illegal weapon into a crowd of innocent people, even in self-defense.
Indiscriminately firing into a crowd?
Yes. Do you then, even though he's 15, do you consider trying him as an adult? For the charges of illegal possession of a gun as an adult, for reckless endangerment or whatever it is, negligence, in firing into a crowd of people.
I would guess
if you knew the alternative was only 30 days, would you try this 15-year-old as an adult?
Would he now would it be open to longer time and locked up?
I would think as an adult, that 30 limit opens wide open.
I would definitely try him as an adult, as a starter. I also assume if he has a prior gun incident with police, and now he has this one where he pulls an illegal weapon out. He's 15, so he can't even have a gun. He shouldn't legally have a gun.
But the kind of gun that can't be traced.
And then he pulls out a ghost gun that has an extended mag that basically fires like an automatic weapon, allegedly, firing indiscriminately into the crowd. Thank God he's a horrible shot. Thank God. And he could have killed many people. Yeah. Many people could have died. 2 people did die who were just completely innocent.
Right.
And I'll tell you what. The 56-year-old woman who died, very, very sad.
Yeah.
The 44-year-old father of 3 who died. That one really hit home with me. The 56-year-old
could have been you.
The 56-year-old woman, because she's slightly older and because her kids are also grown, that is tremendously sad. Very, very sad.
Well, that could have been my wife.
Yes. But when I saw myself in that Carlos, the guy who died, the 44-year-old, when I see the picture of him with his wife and their 3 kids, and I think about every single day when I leave the house, it's summertime right now, and my kids are all home, and they get up really early, and I get up really early, and it's chaotic, and it's nuts, but it's just this beautiful time of life where they're just around, and I might be working on getting show stuff ready, but by the time I get ready to go in the morning, and I leave the house around 7:30, they all go up to my bedroom window. All the boys, at least 2 of them, but usually like all 4 boys, they go and they put their cute little heads in the bedroom window. And I wave goodbye from my truck as I'm backing down the driveway.
Over the garbage can.
Over the garbage.
As always.
And then I point for them to go run to the back of the house so that when I'm driving around to the, rest of the front of the house, the kids are back there and they wave from their bedroom window. And I yell to them out the window. I say, "Bye, buddies." This is a routine we do every day.
Yeah.
This Carlos was just at the Bite of Seattle.
Yeah.
He has 3 young kids, just like I have young kids. Yeah. Their lives are forever changed because this 15-year-old kid decided to pull a gun out. Now, maybe he didn't hit anyone, but he easily could have. And the guy he said, I love you too, who was laying on the ground dead, he lost his life. He might have hit somebody with his gun. We don't know if he even had a gun.
Right.
The guy they were shooting at, we don't know if he was the guy that killed Carlos. But Carlos is no longer with us.
Right.
And his kids, they don't get to say goodbye to dad or goodnight to dad like we all get to enjoy our kids every day.
I hear you, man.
That to me it hits so close to home, and it also just drives me crazy. You got people in Seattle who are not even saying that this is gang violence. They're saying, yeah, maybe this one was gang violence, but they don't have a gang violence unit. You should be tracking this stuff.
I hear you. I told you I was at Golden Gardens yesterday afternoon. You're talking about the 56-year-old woman who was killed.
Yeah.
The innocent bystander at the Bite of Seattle.
Who had just recently moved here to be with her daughter and her husband who were starting a new family.
Daughter and son-in-law. That's who we were with these at Golden Gardens. I mean, that's
your phase of life. We both identified
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, one idiot, one criminal mind with no respect for other people or life in general starts randomly fired in a gang-related beef. It could be you, me, or anybody else that quickly.
It is crazy.
And there's someone at large.
Yeah.
And we have an ongoing investigation. We don't even have the murder weapon. We don't know how many people we're looking for.
You think they'll
Let's fire the chief of police.
You think they'll ever find that person at large?
Yes, I do.
Have we even had a description of that person?
Not yet. As Chief
Is
Barnes,
that not a problem?
Of course it is. But as Chief Barnes pointed out in his press conference Monday, which I think was the right thing to acknowledge to people, we've got conflicting eyewitnesses because the lack of surveillance camera coverage of Seattle Center.
Yeah.
Which is a problem we need to address.
Because they don't have any.
Because we need to address that problem. But the fact that we have conflicting eyewitness testimony, over 80 people have given information through the Seattle Police tip line, which is great.
But why hasn't that information been sent out to the public?
They have to. They cross-reference what the chief said was that we have conflicting eyewitness testimony. We find commonalities between this because when you've got of 80 people, if 25 of them said the guy was this tall, this color, wearing these clothes, then we know we have something we can go to the public with. But to your point, why don't we know yet?
We're 4 days removed.
And we don't know who we're looking for or how many.
We don't know if this person's 16.
Right.
We don't know if this person's 55.
Right.
We don't know if this person is white or black or Hispanic. We don't know if this person is a male or a female. How is the public supposed to give tips if they don't even know who to look for? The whole thing is very poorly
they're
run.
asking for eyewitness accounts, videos, all those things that currently.
All right.
And that number again, by the way, if you need it, we have that number for the police. I'll give
We'll
you.
find it. We'll find it. All right. Let's talk to. We're going to talk to the SPOG president coming up next. Kent Lou's going to join us. Stick around. Be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over... Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk Jackson Smith & Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This summer, I'm driving my first hybrid, the 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid, which I got at Carter Subaru. It's a beauty and has excellent safety features. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 in stock, including the 2026 Subaru Outback for 0.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or CarterSubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Seattle City Council president calls it a reckless decision to ask Police Chief Sean Barnes to step down. Joy Hollingsworth says Mayor Katie Wilson called for Barnes' resignation.
We have not been given information about what are the next steps. All I know is that the chief has been asked to resign, and that is it.
She says now is not the right time to remove the chief, as the SPD is still actively working to track down at least one more suspect in Sunday's gang-related shooting at the Bite of Seattle. But the apparent firing of Chief Barnes will not slow down the investigation. That's what the president of the police union, Kent Liu, tells KIRO Newsradio's Jake and Spike.
I think there's enough hierarchy in the police department that, the departments, the line officers, we're fine, right? We're okay. It certainly sends the wrong message to the city, the people living here, right? Even nationally.
Liu says officers still have not received official word on Barnes, calling it, in his words, amateur hour at the mayor's office. Second suspect is now charged in the shooting of a 2-year-old boy at a Tacoma apartment complex back in March. Pierce County prosecutors say 25-year-old Avery McDaniel now faces assault and firearms charges. A child survived after being hit in the chest. McDaniel pleaded not guilty. Another man was arrested earlier this year. Meantime, a major breakthrough in the case of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz, who was killed in Parkland back in May. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has the updates.
Detectives working with the FBI and authorities in Mexico tracked down suspect Brandon Torres Mesa and brought him back to the U.S. You might recall Braylon was shot and killed after a group of people in a car pulled up to him and stole his necklace. Right now, Torres Mesa is in custody. 2 other suspects were arrested back in June.
Amazon just crushed its earnings reports. The company pulled in over $200 billion in revenue last quarter, 20% more than just a year ago. Cloud computing was the company's big winner. Amazon Web Services grew nearly 37%. That's its fastest pace in 4.5 years. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
It's getting busy out there, Aaron. Let's start you in Puyallup, eastbound 512 at the north end of the Puyallup River Bridge. A collision blocks your left lane. You're backed up bumper to bumper to the South Hill curve. And then westbound 512, we've got a looky-loo backup that stretches to the Valley Freeway, and that backup starts way back at State Route 18. Both directions of 18 are packed between 167 and I-5. Tacoma to Olympia pushing an hour, 55 minutes, a 10-minute delay. Little crowded near the Tacoma Mall, and then scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia, starting near Marvin Road. South 5 into Seattle crowded from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle up to a half hour. North 5 pretty solid now between the Michigan Curve and the Ship Canal Bridge. In South Center, South 5 is South 188th. A new crash blocks 3 left lanes. Up in Bothell, South 405 at State Route 522. A disabled vehicle blocks the toll lane. Everett to Marysville close to 20 minutes. And still big backups heading to the Hood Canal Bridge from an earlier marine crossing. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast is showing sunshine the next couple of days after some morning clouds. Highs today in the mid to upper 70s, low 80s tomorrow. And then back to the low 70s for the weekend, some clouds and some light showers at times for Seafair weekends. Right now, 75 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We have a guest to get to, which we will in just a second, but I want to clear something up. Spike, I think you were right on this text exchange between Bob Ferguson and Katie Wilson. Bob Ferguson's sent out a screenshot of his phone screen in a text exchange where he says, she texts him at 7:41 p.m. He then responds and says, I can be there by 9 p.m., which is basically him saying, like, I'm going to jump in the car immediately, because obviously if he's in Olympia, it takes about an hour and change to get to Seattle.
Correct.
He then sends her another text at 10:13 saying, please call. And then she responds shortly thereafter saying, I just tried you. I'm available now. It draws into question everything about, this claim that her office is making that we're waiting on dignitaries. It certainly seems like he was trying to make himself available, but not necessarily in person.
That was from an SPD spokesperson, officially told media Sunday night, we're waiting for the arrival of dignitaries.
The thing is, the whole thing is so confusing, and now Katie Wilson has fired Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes, or has she? And what does this mean for actual cops? How do they do their jobs when their boss, when that job is, totally a big question mark? We have the president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild, Kent Liu, on with us right now. Kent, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Spike.
Kent, what are you hearing right now from, folks in your union? What are they thinking right now that's going on?
Unfortunately, so I listened to the first half of your show here, and I know about the same, that we are all holding. We're just in a holding pattern. The same thing I heard is that I think Barnes was on the impression he was fired, but the mayor's office won't confirm it. And here we are. So we really have no idea.
What does this do? Like, how are, there's still obviously the day-to-day operations, cops going out there and doing their jobs. That's not going to stop. They're going to keep doing it. But their leader is now in question. Like, who succeeds him and how quickly? There would be some interim chief, I assume. Would that be Tyrone Davis who would step up in the meantime?
Well, that's a good question. Tyrone Davis was the acting chief Sunday night, right? And during that weekend. So he could, I guess, step in, or maybe he still is the acting chief, right? Then you would essentially name an interim, which hasn't been named. I guess this is a complete distraction for what's going on. I think the mayor's office is just, I don't know, it's just amateur hour up there. Well, I don't know how else to say it.
I heard somebody describe it as rudderless, which I think is a good description of what we're looking at right now. Mm-hmm. Acting Chief Davis seems to me, if the reporting is the information we're getting, he's been acting police chief for 11 different weekends so far in the last 5 months, right? Every time the chief is out of town, assistant chief, acting chief Davis is in charge, right? That's the case. Today it's reported.
I don't know if that's every time, but I mean, he was there at least this weekend. I didn't mean. Okay, that's a great question. When the chief of police is out of town for official business or family time, someone is put in place. That's part of the agreement that you're gonna have these commitments to the law enforcement community on a national level. They have commitments to family, which everyone can understand. When you're gone so many weekends, there's got to be a system, a pretty, at this point, tried and true system in place for who's running the SPD. I'm trying to get to Jake's point. What happens today? Today it's in the paper that Chief Barnes is saying, look, they said, are you fired? He said, that's up to the mayor. I'm taking a personal day-to-day. My family's flying in town for Seafair. We're going to try some tasty food and watch Blue Angels. This was from the is he fired chief of police, Chief Barnes.
This whole thing, I mean, did he really say?
This is all on the mayor's office. All of this. Every bit of this is owned by the mayor.
Absolutely.
Is this, she doesn't have a communications director right now. That job was just vacated recently by Sage Wilson. He was the press secretary. The communications director was also, went away.
That's gone, and that job listing's pretty attractive salary.
Yeah, pretty good.
Anybody
if you're good at the job.
Shows you how vital that position is.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, truly.
Yeah.
That's my question too. Is like, who's communicating right now with Katie Wilson? Who's helping her make some of these decisions that she's kind of like? Every decision she makes, it seems to be the wrong one, and she just keeps putting her foot in it. She needs somebody who can help her get on the right path, and it doesn't seem like she's surrounding herself with the right people, or the people who were there are deciding we don't want to be around her, and then they just leave the job. So for the police in town, how hard is it for them to do their jobs now when who's their boss right now?
I think there's enough hierarchy in the police department that, the department's the line officers, we're fine, right? We're okay. It certainly sends the wrong message to the city, the people living here, right? Even nationally. I mean, this is a disaster. I think we've run this experiment of an inexperienced mayor, and I think this is what it's getting us. I don't know how else to frame this, but maybe there was some thought that this was going to take the spotlight, getting rid of Sean Barnes was going to give the spotlight off of her. This is only going to
it ratchets
destroy her more.
Big time. Here's another question for you. There's an active investigation going on right now for another shooter in this weekend's mass gang shooting. Who's directing that now? If Sean Barnes is having to take the day off because maybe he's fired or maybe he's taking the day off to enjoy Seafair with his family, I guess that's TBD. Does that investigation, is that hindered in any way in the meantime?
No. There'd be enough chiefs and captains that would make sure that that's going. And really, that's up to the investigators. So there's still plenty of people in place. That's all still going on, right?
Well,
so the day-to-day operations are fine. You just kind of have a rudderless ship. It doesn't mean that, the lights aren't on and you're not enjoying the activities, of a ship, right? Like it's just, if that's the analogy you want to use, it's
just adrift for a little while.
We just adrift.
Yeah, that's it, right?
This is a poop cruise.
It's not that
we're all just hanging out.
The day-to-day operations are not being conducted, right? The investigation is still going on. 911 calls are still being answered.
Well, you made a great point earlier that there's enough hierarchy in place in this Seattle Police Department organization that the day-to-day safety of the city operations of the department are going to be fine. Your officers, that you're the president of the guild, the men that chose you to represent them, they have support from their command hierarchy and structure. The work that they do to keep the city safe on a daily basis, whether it's street crime, following up on calls, investigating ongoing investigations.
Yeah,
those are all in place.
But This cannot be good for morale. This can't be and nobody's feeling very confident right now that this is a good thing.
It's beyond today, but I think what they said before, right? It's eight police chiefs since 2009.
Yeah.
Right. There's just the police department now is suffering because of the mayor or the situation. We had that tragic incident at the Bite of Seattle where innocent people lost their lives. Officers performed brilliantly.
Yeah, they stepped
all
in,
running
saved
towards
the day.
gunfire, right? I mean, they executed that day really well. Right, we still have a manhunt going on. We still have active investigations. All of that is still working. It would be nice to have, though, consistent leadership at the top. I was kind of hoping that Sean Barnes was going to stick around for a while. He was honestly good for us, and I think the officers actually liked him.
I think you're getting to my next question, Kent, because we're talking to Kent Liu, president of Seattle Police Officers Guild. If the mayor did indeed fire the chief of police in Seattle, the mayor has given no sense of what the cause was, whether it was breakdown of communication the night of the gang-related mass shooting at the center, whether it was time away from the job through previous commitments from the chief. Does he have the force behind? Are they in his corner? You said that they like him. Is that a possible reason that the mayor says it's time to make a change? Did he have the guys?
I don't think it came from the rank and file. I think this is all coming from the mayor's office completely. I think they own this 100%. I don't know again what the goal is. Now, according to the city charter, Article 6, I think, talks about the chief of police. So she's got to provide something in writing. And I think that's maybe part of this. Listen, I'm not going to resign. You're going to have to fire me. You're going to have to supply some reason to the city council as to what your reasoning is. I've heard the city council. I don't think that they are happy with this decision and what's going on here, or maybe they're more unhappy with no decision. But it's a disaster right now.
Very, very, very quickly, like 10 seconds. Does the prospect of her naming a successor make you nervous?
Possibly. I mean, it really depends. I don't think immediately, right? Because we'll have either probably an interim of somebody that we know.
Yeah.
I think the more nervous part comes forward, months later, right? When you enact let's say a bigger search, right? And you're going to name that final candidate. That's really where it is. Right now, I think we'll be fine. You just got to let us know is Sean Barnes fired or not?
Is he the head or not?
Who's running this place?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Ken Liu, Seattle's Police Officers Guild president. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over... Hi, I'm Ursula Boytine from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Don't wait, insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
dayandnight.net. What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayach.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps." Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
KIRO News Radio is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the KIRO Newsradio app or visit mynorthwest.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
That's mynorthwest.com/win.
Welcome back to the show. It's last call. We got your text messages. Man, we had a lot of good stuff today. Laura, start us off.
Yeah, on the fans who were yelled at by a Storm co-owner for protesting trans women in sports at a Seattle Sporting game. Oh, that's a long sentence. CJ in Bothell says, if you expect tolerance, you darn well better practice tolerance.
360 Ryan says, you're saying these girls didn't wear those just to get a rise out of people?
I don't know. It's not a complicated thing that I'm saying, Ryan. They wore shirts saying that they support girls and girls sports at a big event where there are political slogans all the time, and they were spat upon. So I don't understand what Ryan's not understanding about that.
Bill in Lake Stevens says, this was a paid protest, and we all know the left is the most intolerant to opposing views. This played out exactly how they thought it would. The co-owner was just a bonus.
The co-owner definitely suspended for 5 games. I would wonder too if they're going to do anything else to make it right to those girls. I mean, just as a show of like, hey, we really want to make sure everyone is welcome, knows that they're welcome here.
Yeah.
Here's some more free tickets to the game. I doubt they'd take them up on it, but maybe they would. Who knows?
206 says, I'm absolutely disgusted that the girls had to experience such poor behavior from adults. I've been listening to this story, and it's bringing tears to my eyes as a mom, as a female athlete, as a human. If this doesn't show how two-faced and intolerant the left has become, I don't know what will. I'm in agreement with Jake. I don't think the girls were set up with the tickets they received. They followed all the rules and showed maturity beyond their years. Unreal for people to behave like this. I'm also very happy that the WNBA took swift action against whatever her name is. It needed to happen.
All right, let's move on to the biggest issue for voters. Trucker Joe and Graham says cost of living, fair functioning government. Those are the biggest issues. Yeah, I think you're right.
And more of your thoughts on Chief Barnes. We've got so many. Kevin in Black Diamond says, can we ask Katie Wilson to resign? She can't even fire someone correctly.
That will be interesting. I was wondering if the Seattle City Council, like, do you think there's any backroom discussions happening with Seattle City Council going like, hey, is there a vote of no confidence that we kick in for Katie Wilson? Do we go to her privately and say, like, this is not going to work? We don't want to be at odds with you, but this, like, how can
I can't imagine those thoughts aren't pinballing around behind closed doors.
I'll tell you what, they're certainly not sending any emails saying that, but I bet you there are conversations that are at least happening in quiet corners.
Here's one from the 206. I'm the mayor of a major American city, and I think I inadvertently fired. I'm sorry. That's for Dear Ursula. That's for Dear. I'm sorry. That's for Dear Ursula. Sherry in Friday Harbor.
That's a funny idea.
Sherry in Friday Harbor says, honestly, this situation right now with the Seattle police chief is not the current mayor's fault. She is what she is. The fault lies with those voters who voted her in. They are all in a dream world, not the real world.
Do the voters bear responsibility? Yeah, that's true, I think.
Absolutely.
For sending Katie Wilson there. Yeah.
Can't blame a zebra for having stripes.
253 says, before the mayor decides if she has fired the chief or not, she should probably weigh the cost of a wrongful termination lawsuit. Here's the thing. We were talking about that right at the beginning of the show, and whatever her problems are right now, they have been exponentially kicked up when she started talking about firing this guy. That lawsuit is going to be big money.
And if there's not somebody in the mayor's office who's counseling her from a legal perspective, before she makes a move like firing the chief of police,
yes,
that's another major breakdown.
Big problems.
Dennis in Seattle says, Spike, don't even think about applying for that vacant police chief job.
Could you do both? Could you just do that and then still do the show here? I think you could.
You get weekends off, but you got to work Monday through Friday. So
well,
these are just too easy.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. That's not a very hard job over in the mayor's office.
Yeah, well, no, they're saying police chief.
Oh, police
chief. They're saying police chief.
Oh.
I'm definitely thinking about the communication director job, seeing what it pays. But
that's good money.
I would never leave you guys.
$272,000. Marion Queen Anne says, welcome to Seattle, land of revolving door police chiefs, untrained, politically incompetent mayor who is at war with a highly political competent council. Any bets on who's going to win this one? Losers are the residents. That's true, Mary. That's sad.
And I 360. Walking a cat on a leash is not ridiculous. I said what I said, and I stand by it.
This was, you saw Jimothy.
I was in Ballard, and I swear I saw a guy walking a cat on a leash, and myself, and I think Jimothy spoke up in protest.
What a bizarre 30 seconds of life. A guy walking a cat and Jimothy at the same time.
I'm telling you, it's a magic city we live in. Let's keep it that way.
All right. That's all for us today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show. Spike, who's coming up next?
Believe it or not, I am going to stay on and host the John Curley Show, and I have a huge guest at 3 o'clock.
Really?
John Curley.
Nice.
He's going to phone into his own show. It's going to be great.
Perfect. All right. Stick around for that. Spike's coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word. It was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife, Nicole, to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures and followed the outcomes. They have the experience to know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
I'm spending my summer in a new Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru, and yes, I am officially spoiled. It is so comfortable, and as my first hybrid, the timing couldn't be better with the high gas prices. And for a limited time, you can also get a 2026 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-List member, you're covered.